don't feel it right away. You do your first couple cycles, you're like, I feel great, I look really good. And then 20 years down the line, you can't type a coherent Instagram caption. You gotta catch it early and don't let it get so bad.
So how do we catch that, and what do we do?
Preventative measures, minimizing the trend, which has been shown to cause a lot of amyloid plaque buildup. Now you can remove the amyloid plaque with go look into NAD+, 20 milligrams sub-Q daily, 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams of methylene blue. These are all great antioxidants that prevent oxidative stress and DNA damage and brain damage and cancer potentially. Improve your skin texture. Now many of these pros look like ashtrays. And paclitaxel 25 milligrams while carbing up. You'll be surprised how dry these guys stay. It doesn't act as a crazy diuretic, has longevity benefits, unlike metformin.
Got my blood work done the week after my prep, and my LDL was 80 and my HDL was 50 or 60. Everything in range. I was pretty fucking surprised.
What's a stack? Accutane can make you depressed, and then SSRIs can kill your libido. Vortioxetine killed my dick, 100%. I had zero desire and zero erection quality. Finasteride could be the one that moves the needle. I would look into IgM and Saltomedal first.
Honestly, I end up seeing too many issues with the aromatization rates in these folks. I think they'd just be a lot better off.
I tried Cagrilintide, and that made me feel lethargic as hell. Man, I just ended up eating more to get some energy. The amount of antioxidant benefits that you get from melatonin is stellar, but some people can tolerate more than others.
You two are two of the people that I go to first when it comes to reducing oxidative stress and elongate our life as a bodybuilding competitor. What's up, bro homies? So the new transparent shirt is finally out, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much because, to be honest, I don't know if I've expressed my thanks enough to you guys, but this podcast has probably been the most meaningful thing that I think I've ever created, I've ever really delved my time into, and I just wanted to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity because I really would not be here if it wasn't for all of y'all. And as cliche as it may all sound, the power to be able to have a voice and discuss these issues that we have all dealt with has been something that I think I felt a lot of fulfillment through because of just how much we've been able to connect with each other. So we finally have the shirt, the hoodie, and the pants all on this site. Basically, and the site is Aycons, AYKONS.com/collections/transparent. And 3 pieces there for you to get. So we try to make it as cheap as reasonably possible because the company that we work with does upcharge extra, quite a bit extra for the base price for shipping and handling and packaging. And this is all everything that we kind of needed to have implemented because, to be honest with y'all, I have never dealt with clothes before, never dealt with any of this crap before, so I have no absolute clue what I'm doing. But basically, because of the prices, I felt bad that the shipping was expensive, so I have a code Nyle for you guys to use to get 10% off of everything that you're buying. So hopefully that kind of helps compensate just a little bit. But because of this, not having enough product is going to be an issue, and they'll be able to send out your product to you within 2 days, and then the shipping should be about 7 to 12 days, at least as according to the site. So maximum, you'll get your thing in 2 weeks. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out. I'll be here. I'll answer your questions. DM, this is the community, so I'll be here the entire time. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys because I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you guys so much, and let's get this ball rolling. Keep trading hard. We'll wait for Father. Father. He says I'm in the recording too. Your screen is gray.
Yeah. Send him a screenshot or something of what we see.
He said, let me rejoin then. Father. Our dad is old, so he doesn't really understand technology.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have jokes like that all stream. All my stories right now.
Life is great, dude.
I know.
Great and crazy.
Can you guys see me now?
Oh my God, Dad.
So I was here the whole time looking at Tanner chilling on his phone.
I felt bad. I didn't even know you were here. I swear I wasn't ignoring you.
I was observing.
That's funny. Bro, I was actually, just before this, I was watching the podcast that you guys had together like 2 years ago. And now I'm looking at Tanner. I'm like, wow, Tanner's been looks maxing.
I look different.
Yeah. I took your facial bloat. Off season to the max.
Body fat's way down.
Wait, Steve, what have you jumped back on something? Now that daughter is
I just did like a fast with a boatload of GH. So I'm a little bit puffy at the end of the day. And keep in mind, it's 1 o'clock in the morning here. So I'm at the end of the day. If you catch me at 10 o'clock in the morning, I look okay. But later in the day, I'm a little bit blood maxing.
Nice.
So
I need to get a little setup like Tanner has, like a little old school Leo Longevity.
I whipped this
books in the
together like
background.
the last few weeks. It feels nice. We're almost there. We're going to start doing live streams because YouTube has me permanently banned. I have no hope of posting on that platform.
Yeah, that's BS.
Yeah, I got banned on TikTok, so I can't use that platform either.
Oh, I've been banned 15 times. Just make another one.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Does this mean
Doesn't
I'm
feel
next?
good though. Does not feel great.
Jesus.
I know, it's annoying. And like Chase has been banned also from YouTube, and we tried to get a channel back through a couple different people that we knew in the behind the scenes, but they couldn't do it.
Wow, even for Chase?
Yeah.
Do I know Chase?
Us anymore.
Chase Irons.
Chase Irons.
Mr. 20,000 nanograms per deciliter.
Mr. 20,000. Yes, we all know Mr. 20,000. Tanner, is this why you've been having all these freaking boxes of books being delivered to your place so you could just put them behind you?
Yes, gradually. But it was because last December I took time off posting. I want to start reading books again. It feels really good now that I'm getting back into it.
What kind of books?
Biology for a minute, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Biology books or like Romans?
No, a lot of these are historical books. So nonfiction, learning more about society, just deepening your brain in other ways. Feels good.
Right. Cool.
Nice. I wish I had that desire. Not autistic enough, unfortunately.
I only read scientific papers. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, last time I read a book was Never, so that's cool though.
You're an engineer. I know you've been reading books.
Sometimes
I read a lot of numbers
stuff.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, all right. So we have a fuck ton of questions, obviously, so I'm not very surprised. So I'm thinking, I need to stop going on tangents as much and be a little bit more prompt this time, because I think we actually won't get through everything in the span of however long we have left. So
the 3-hour podcast with Justin Compton, that was one big tangent. It was great.
No, it was great, wasn't it? This is doing surprisingly well right now too. So I guess maybe people do like the tangents.
Maybe you have
sometimes.
a clear mind.
I feel a little bit better. I've been awake for about an hour and a half. So
how was the rave? Tell me about this shit.
Oh man.
Oh, God,
I know where this is going.
I wonder how much I could talk about this on air.
Nyle and I have been talking about going to a show for a while, ever since we both found out that we swing that direction. So it was a great
direction. Not sus at all.
The excuse to drag him out and bring him to my state for a little bit of a New Year's festivity.
Mm-hmm.
Met a lot of friends, had a lot of good times. We were healthy-ish.
Ish.
A
lot of glutathione injections in between.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Stay healthy that way. Some 5-HTP afterwards.
All the responsible supplements. the other supplements during the night.
I'm jealous, dude.
Well, that's what we were saying. We gotta get out to the Netherlands at some point.
Yeah.
We will drag you there someday.
Yeah, well, we have festivals in Thailand too, but then there's a boatload of cops standing outside. So that's why I don't really feel, because I'm not going to go to a festival sober. But with the cops waiting outside, bags and bags of urine samples for drug
Oh, wow,
testing.
they're really strict about it.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome.
In Holland, you can just do whatever. So in Holland, I used to party as starting with my fake ID when I was 15 up until like 20, 25. 43 this year, so maybe I shouldn't. I don't think my heart can take it. I haven't busted out the dance moves in a while, so might need to dust those off. Do some practice runs.
You'll probably be better than us. You know, we were talking about we need to learn how to hawk in and everything else too.
You guys don't know how to? Oh, okay. Well,
it's not popular in America. It's
Australia is very, very popular for that stuff. I'm surprised people still do it. I grew up with that stuff. I'm like, man, people still do this. You know?
Yep.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hey, come on, man. I used to be a teenager.
I used to be a teenager.
Yeah.
I don't believe
grow out the hair on the top and shave it on the side and put the Aussies on and Fuck yeah, man.
They put out that movie about it. They like showed the whole history of it. It was more of like a story. I forget the name of it, but like documenting all of it.
Yeah.
That was a really cool movie because like we didn't grow up in that time, but at least just get a snapshot of what it was like.
Good times, man. I mean, those parties used to be legendary. Before cocaine got introduced, like everybody was at MDMA, maybe a little bit of amphetamines. And fuck, we had a blast, dude. You make so many friends. I mean, just whole circles of people dancing. You have no idea who's what, but you're all best buddies. It was a great time. No fights, no nothing. Yeah.
That's cool.
No
That still sounds like
egos.
rave culture these days, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know about Germany rave culture though, but they're a little bit more deep, dark depths and kind of just like.
Depends on where you go. Like if you go to the Love Parade, it was like 1 million people. You just follow the bus that you like. Like what is it? that guy from the meme? The Swedish guy, the techno Viking. Like kind of that
Yes.
style, just follow the bus that you like, and then after 8 hours, you're like, where the fuck am I in Berlin? Where the hell did I end up?
I had only heard about the bus thing recently where like people graduating high school, they all decorate a bus and rig it with speakers and then like drive them around and listen to music. I wish we did that in the US. It's just the EDM is not as diffuse in our community.
Yeah, we have like 3-day raves at Belgium or Holland and Mysteryland, and that used to be at night, and then they made it during the day. You pitch a tent, and use those communal showers with the €1 coins. Good times, man. So where the fuck?
This sounds like
where
our
are
next,
my baggies at?
next
So don't
scheme,
worry,
Tanner.
everybody would share.
Yeah.
Good times.
Cool. This is perfect. Well, speaking of partying and raves, if you guys didn't know, this is Tanner and I's father, Vigorous Steve, and Tanner is my smarter and a slightly autistic brother, and we are the entire family, all here reconnecting. But I was the reason I think this is kind of cool that we're just talking about lifestyle stuff and raves because we actually just got some recommendations or maybe more so like requests from our homies to kind of discuss lifestyle versus competitive PED use, as well as like any type of, even though we don't really condone, I guess, certain
Everybody
party culture.
does it, man. Come on.
Everybody does it, bro.
Don't even bleed
for
around
sure.
the bush. People like to party, and recreational drugs are a gateway to performance-enhancing drugs and vice versa.
All you little motherfuckers in the audience, virtual signaling.
I know Justin Compton was very surprised when he went to the after parties, and he said, like, hey, you guys take this too? It's very common in the bodybuilding space.
Yeah, so maybe we can actually discuss some things that we can do to at least try to like risk mitigate, since we know it's going to happen anyways.
So what was your risk
from
mitigation
experience or
stack
anything
after New Year's?
Right. Yeah. You want to go substance by substance. Obviously, the approach would be very different if they're drinking or using pills, etc. Nyle, what stands out to you?
I think as far as drinking, the last thing we were discussing most recently is like not taking things like Tutka or NAC within 12 hours of drinking because that can actually exacerbate liver damage. Also, people should just choose something else other than drinking on.
Yeah, you shouldn't combine cocaine with alcohol because the metabolites like make it even worse on each other. And that's like the worst cocktail you can do. So if you like to party, you either have to choose to drink and maybe smoke a cigar on the side, and then you go with expensive whiskeys so you don't drink too much. That's what I usually do. So you go with 18-year-old, 15-year-old, 12-year-old whiskeys, do a couple doubles on the rocks, get nice and drunk, smoke a fat cigar, and then you call it quits after 3 doubles or something. So that's 6 shots.
Very high class of you.
Yeah, well, then your wallet is crying. Your wallet is like, bro, stop it. Stop. I'm hurting. Stop it. And then, but if you were to go to a rave, I wouldn't drink. I never drank during raves. You would take the stimulants, the MDMA at the start or when the time is right. And then maybe you keep yourself going with a bit more MDMA or some weed or microdose, depending on what your preference is.
It's an interesting balancing act. The metaphor that comes to mind is people who refuse to stop eating fast food. And so they end up using GLPs to just stop being fat. In a weird way, they always want to keep doing a lifestyle
Sierra.
that's poisoning them. So that's, alcohol or substances or drugs, PEDs in some ways. So the question is now, like, if they're not going to change their lifestyle, someone's going to keep combining Coke with alcohol, what's the best possible supplement stack or medications or whatever it may be that could potentially try its best to mitigate the effects there? And I think there's no clear answer. Obviously, we know it's not healthy, but what's the next best option, right?
Well, you want some sort of liver protection and neurogenesis in place afterwards, but not during. I mean, you're doing the damage. You're just trying to reverse some of the damage or make it not as bad the day after. I mean, staying hydrated is always important, which sucks at the festivals because the queues for the potties
Terrible.
for the toilets are horrible, and then the plus, you can't find your friends anymore. Nowadays you have mobile phones, but back in the day when I used to rave, dude, the mobile phones, you didn't even have location on it, so you couldn't find each other. So you're frantically texting each other, right? Like 111-333-777 to get the text out. And then you're like, yeah, let's meet at this and this place in 30 minutes. And you slowly walk there and then you meet each other. Okay, cool. You reconnect. Nowadays, it's a little bit easier. You even have those rave bands, with the location stuff. You can find each other. That works on Bluetooth or GPS. Yeah. So staying hydrated is very important. I think that's regardless of drug, just got to stay hydrated. Because as soon as you stop getting dehydrated, then your organs start to work less and you can't filter out all the toxins that you're producing.
It's kind of cool to see that like there wouldn't be information out there, so people would just be fucking themselves up. And so now we have a lot of people that have just these crazy stories of how they were like depressed or they like were suppressed for like 6 years and then didn't do anything about it. Versus now, I'm not going to mention any names, but we got homies, for example, that did experiment when they were like say 17, and I'm literally like getting back from an event, and dude is immediately taking out his glutathione and his electrolytes and hasn't had any suppression issues. And it's just like the information is so different these days. So even though, I don't know, it's kind of like the government, like you don't just like ban shrooms and ban, people don't stop. People kind of just almost like do it more just behind their backs and, trade illegally versus just giving out information.
I look at it like, playing football, for example. These athletes are at chronic risk of concussions, but we keep inventing better helmets to try and protect them and keep them safer for longer. It's a similar approach to drug culture as a whole. These drugs have always been just as damaging as they were before. We might someday create designer alternatives that are less harmful. Who knows? But for right now, even among my generation, it's starting to become normalized. Like, if you're going to roll, here's a quick supplement pack of like pills and vitamins and whatever that you take the next day. So there's just this culture of responsible raving or responsible substance use overall. Guys who go out and smoke and they have P5P on hand so they control any prolactin elevations.
Right.
Like I love to see this culture of enhancement even into like everyday life. So maybe like normal people, when they just go out and drink, they have a glutathione shot ready to go and they get home. If somehow we beat the needle phobia that most people
and
suffer.
a little bit of damage control afterwards, So I do think that the glutathione shots like 600 milligrams per day for maybe a couple of days, depending on how hard you went. Like sometimes you stay modest and sometimes you go all in and all out. And then you need a week to recover, regardless of your protocol. You still need a week to kind of get back into the protocol, especially if you weren't eating for 12 hours and just dancing. I mean, that's a giant caloric deficit that you just created.
That's why you got to bring your protein powder and your protein bars to the rave, guys.
Shit, man, you can't.
All you got to do is crunch that shit.
If you're really going hard, you can't eat.
Ziploc bag of powder, but it was not drugs. It was protein powder.
Yeah, it's protein, sir. You have your shaker cup with you. It's full with buds.
Crazy.
Yeah, so glutathione and like 5-HTP, I would take that afterwards also, like 100 milligrams before bed. Obviously, 36 hours after your last dose because you need some time for that to metabolize. Otherwise, you risk potential serotonin syndrome. And then vitamin E is another antioxidant. Vitamin C is another antioxidant. Good amount of healthy fats in your diet. Fish oil to kind of reduce the inflammation.
Would you add CoQ10 on top of that?
Yeah, CoQ10, definitely. I'm on that year round, but that's definitely good for the heart, especially if you take stimulants, taurine for the electrolyte balance and the osmotic pressure. It's basically all the stuff we take as bodybuilders anyway.
Yeah.
But then you go a little bit extra afterwards, or maybe even the ubiquinol and the taurine you can take, with you, because if you're going to a rave for 12 hours and you're 12 hours on something, then you definitely supplement with some ubiquinol during, keep your heart going.
And then all the cute things that people don't really like to do, such as like getting sunlight early in the morning and going on walks and getting some exercise and sweating things out.
It helps.
You just want to lay in bed all day after.
So the last couple of times I did it and I had my protocol ready, the next day I was good to go. No depression, no tiredness, no lethargy. It was just another day. Oh, you have the afterglow, obviously. Don't take a microdose so that you get your roll back. You're like, ooh, So, but yeah,
giving us all the dark
for
tips.
Neurogenesis, it might not be a bad idea.
When was the last time you dabbled, Steve?
Allegedly 2 years ago.
Allegedly.
Oh.
Before I decided to go on the kids route. About 2 years ago. That was one to close it off. Allegedly.
Gosh. That's right. He's actually a dad now. We kind of have to respect his lifestyle. We can't drag
so I was like, I don't want my kids to see me like that. So I either need to wait from like 40 years old until they're 18 out of the house, then I'd be like 58. It's too much. I never say never, man. You see those old ravers, they're still going out once in a while, and instead of 300 milligrams, they take like 100. It's still a lot.
There's this grandma that's like 70 years old that comes to Cross like every year, and then me and the homies all just like dance with her. She's just
but is she sober?
You never know. Hey, you were sober, right? This New Year's?
No, I rave sober now, but I'm also not a 70-year-old grandma.
Right.
I feel like hopefully most people rave sober. Like every rave that I've been to back in the day, I was high as a fucking kite. And that would start at 11. Like these day raves starts at 11, and I look, okay, it's 11 o'clock. It's a little bit too early, so I at least wait until 1 o'clock, and then you put your sunglasses on so nobody would see that you're rolling. Yeah, right. And then by 6 o'clock, you're in a good position. You take your second dose, and it's liftoff time, because then the sun kind of goes down or starts to go down.
Yeah. I need to ask Cyrus where he got those shades.
Yeah, really. At least like in the US, the timing on raves is a little bit more friendly. You're not going to have those up until 9 a.m. parties unless you're talking like after parties and stuff like that. Most of the official festivals that you're going to.
Those are the ones.
Right? They have like the different shades electrically, so you can turn it darker.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
Whoa.
That's crazy, dude. Cyclops.
I saw it on Amazon, and I was like, I have to buy it. And it has some speakers in there and Bluetooth connection, so you can actually call people. It's like $200. Chimelo, it's called.
Wow.
When you're on trend, you're like, you got a shopping addiction.
Siri, connect me to the plug, please.
Shameless plug. Dude, this is so chill. And remember that I sent you those the robes with the LEDs in it that they sell in Germany. So you can buy those on AliExpress too for like $50 or something. So you get like this robe, and it's completely covered in LED, and you got an app for it, so you can change the colors. I would definitely wear one of those.
That's awesome.
Just go in my fucking pajamas.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And I get one of those hats with LEDs in it and shoes with LEDs in it. I'll be like a Christmas tree walking around.
I do have a fur jacket, a massive fur jacket with the LEDs too. So
something like that, with LEDs in it.
You just start sweating bullets in that thing, though, man.
I'm sure. Yeah. It would be like
you would know.
Sauna.
All right. So, and we, by the way, just shout out to our boy Cyrus, who was asking for asking things like this, like risk mitigation stacks. But for a cutting stack for lifestyle, what would you guys recommend for somebody say that they were going to try to do that? Because I feel like we get those questions all the time from lifestyle guys. Plus, we all know that it's not going to be as
tired and exercise.
Hopefully, you're not doing something nearly as intense as a bodybuilding competitive stack.
I mean, for most guys, TRT and a GLP-1 is where it ends. GLPs are a little bit more difficult to get now because, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are kind of hammering down on the underground GLP-1 sales. So they're going underground. So instead of getting them from a gray area peptide website, which some of them are still selling, but I think eventually none of them will be able to sell it anymore from within the United States. And then maybe Europe is next, but it just kind of go underground, just like the steroids. So learn how cryptocurrency works and figure out where the gray area peptides are being sold next, and then order them online. But yeah, a GLP-1 receptor agonist to blunt your appetite, whether that's retatrutide or tirzepatide, and TRT with some Anavar. And most lifestyle guys are already done. Or you stay natural. I mean, I did it naturally too for many years. It is possible.
We're not on this podcast to stay natural, Steve.
Okay. TRT plus GLP-1 plus Anavar. Good luck.
I think the case kind of depends on the lifestyle individual. Like you'll have some guys that are 300 pounds and they really want to get on TRT, but honestly, I end up seeing too many issues with the aromatization rates in these folks. I think they'd just be a lot better off if they kind of went the peptide only route until they got to a body fat percentage that was pretty tolerable for TRT, and then start making that shift. But you take the average person who's like, say, 200 something pounds. They don't really like how they look. They want to be a lot leaner. Yeah, TRT GLP is all you really need. And then just like you said, the availability of those GLPs is going to change primarily for the ones that Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk are owners of. But you've also got some other options, like Mazdutide is owned by a Chinese company. They might not have legal teams in the US pressing down on them. So if you wanted an alternative, that might be around a little bit longer, and it's close enough,
The weird thing is that most of these gray area peptide websites that got that have to do with this new act that they're trying to push through, like the Safe Act for peptide usage or whatever, they took Mazdutide and Cagrilintide off the list as well. They just preemptively took all the GLP-1s off.
You'll see them on the cease and desist letters that the labs are getting, even though they're not controlled by anyone in the US, which is really interesting.
Yeah, so Europe still has it. If you know where to get it from China, you just order it in online and take the risk. Or again, you get it from a guy that goes underground and they have a mailing list or some Proton Mail account, and you get it there through cryptocurrency. Yeah, I mean, shit, that's nothing new. If you don't get your TRT prescribed, you self-prescribed, and at the exact same place that sells your testosterone and the Anavar, they also have some GLP-1s. And then again, it depends on your preference. Do you want GLP-1 plus GIP plus glucagon in the form of retatrutide? Or do you want something a little bit stronger, milligram for milligram, like GLP-1 and GIP in the form of tirzepatide? Mazdutide, I've never tried myself because, well, why miss out on the GIP?
Right.
So
exactly.
I tried Cagrilintide, and that made me feel lethargic as hell.
Yeah, it sucks it out of you.
Man, I just ended up eating more to get some energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Did you have any issues with your gut motility?
No, but I eat super healthy. And I follow elimination diet. So if I feel that a food is not working for me, I take it out. Right? So I eat very basic. I know exactly what to eat when I can't eat. And that's what everybody should do when they take these kinds of drugs. Because, again, they slow, intestinal motility. And if you have a food allergy, it makes it worse. So the people that are 300 pounds and they go on retatrutide or tirzepatide, and then they complain about digestion issues. Well, those issues were already there, because they were eating food that were making them fat and ruining their digestion, but at least was passing through fast. So you got to learn how to eat and only eat the things that are actually working for you, which is in most cases is a high protein diet with a good amount of healthy vegetables and some healthy fats,
For
carbs to fill up a deficiency in calories. And then you're done. And it's easier said than done, but it's so simple. Actually, when you look at it, it's so simple.
Say you guys are already on a pretty healthy, balanced diet, and you want like that, you want that like digestion to flow through fast. You just want to shit that shit out, and stay a little bit lean. Pop a little Orlistat.
Yeah,
bro.
It's not sustainable.
You'll just feel it. You'll just feel it. You'll shit your brains out in a few hours. It's crazy.
I took Orlistat yesterday was Sunday, right? Yes, today's Monday. So I took it yesterday. God damn, dude.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic, but the toilet bowl also gets destroyed.
I'm sorry, Tanner.
Yeah.
I stuffed a fuck ton of those David's protein, the new David protein bars that are like really low macro counts, and I brought them to the rave and shit. So every morning afterwards, I would destroy Tanner's toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was staying in my house and blowing up my porcelain throne, man. I could smell it from my bedroom. It's really nice.
Protein bars are horrible for your digestion. It's like, I'd rather eat those rations from 1983 or something from some war.
Yeah. I mean, David's protein bars those are actually really, really great. But Mike, I didn't know this until Mike from APR was telling me that the reason why it's only 2 grams of fat in those protein bars is because they implement some Orlistat in there. Block some of that fat digestion, which makes sense when the macros are crazy. It's like 28 protein, 12 carbs, 2 fat. That's probably one of the best macro ratios of protein bars that I've seen.
So they put something like Orlistat in there preventatively?
What he said, that's what he told me. And it makes sense because it doesn't taste like it's 2 grams of fat. You know what I mean?
So you're basically missing out on all the micronutrients because like Orlistat is all the fat soluble vitamins are now dumping out also.
Maybe so. Micronutrients that you can get from a protein bar, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you can get.
Magnesium stearate.
Yeah.
Shit.
Anyways, this is a good topic though. One of the main questions I think that we get, that a lot of us get pretty often, and I think it was also on the Q&A, was essentially like, so if I don't want to jump on PEDs yet, because there's a lot of naturals on this podcast too, even though I was joking about that earlier, the question was like, can I use peptides to help me get to the place that I want to? And is this something that would be reasonable? And what peptides would you guys like recommend before losing their natty card?
I mean, the metaphor I go with is if someone says like, do I want a Honda Odyssey? I mean, if you're a mom with 6 kids, yeah, you probably do. Do you want a Ferrari? If you're a single guy in your 50s and you're very successful, yeah, you probably do want the Ferrari. Every peptide's different for the individual. You got to really specify like what your goals are. People ask like too broadly, like, oh, like I think I want to get into peptides. Okay, but like which ones? Like
there's hundreds of them. And some of them make you lose your natty card and others don't. Because if you go on ATG monotherapy, which increases your testosterone levels, ATG is on the WADA prohibited list, and it raises your testosterone to potentially superphysiological levels. So you're out of the reference range. So you're now definitely not natty, and you get some shutdown because of it. Because test is high, estrogen is high, LH and FSH will shut down. So you're basically the same as on a moderate TRT protocol, but you keep your testicles active as part of that. So you could either do TRT and get your levels even higher on a moderate dose of testosterone and lower the HCG dose to 250, 300 IUs to get, similar levels as your ALH secretion would. So it really depends on what you want and what your goals are, like Tanner said. I mean, there's so many peptides you could combine. And if you want to be a freak, HCG, growth hormone, and insulin is not going to get you there. Even those are technically the most anabolic peptides out there.
I would definitely say for strength and for muscle size, peptides are really going to leave you disappointed. But for a lot of other goals like quality of life or cosmetic enhancement, things like GHK has been very popular. AHK is another option. Just for quality of life for, an older guy who his knees hurt when he goes up the stairs, BPC, TB500. Like these are all pretty nice ways to just gradually make life a little bit better for you. But, don't expect to be Chris Bumstead after 6 months of peptides. I think that's a little bit far-fetched. They're nice, but they're not magic.
No.
Have you guys heard of people being allergic to GHK-Cu?
I'll see redness at the injection site, but not like full-blown allergies, like, their inflammatory markers are spiking on blood work or anything.
Okay. I was discussing this with Matt.
With MOD-C, you can get some sort of allergic reaction. Yeah. Especially at higher dosages. So that's why I prefer 1 milligram or half milligram shots daily instead of 5 milligrams twice per week. Like at 5 milligrams twice a week, you might get an adverse reaction to the point you have to lay on the couch because you feel absolutely horrendous for an hour and then it dissipates. So I'd prefer MOD-C, once or twice per day. It has a short active life of about 4 hours. So I'd rather dose it more frequently to keep the mitochondria supported instead of this bolus dose that was the initial recommendation. Again, GHK copper can sting quite a bit. Allegedly it burns like gonorrhea. Never had that before, but
love that.
Allegedly. And so on the scale of like how bad it burns, you got carnitine that burns, like a D tier. and then a glutathione burns like a C tier, and I think GHK copper is like an S tier burning sensation, and it lasts about 10 minutes. It's kind of painful. I think that copper hits harder than everything else.
I would put like injectable Winstrol somewhere up that stack. Depends on how many solvents you put in.
Yeah, Winstrol too. But if you got oil-based Winstrol and MCT oil, it actually goes in pretty smoothly.
Okay, I haven't had that formulation.
Yeah.
Sounds like the discussion I had with
like,
Evan.
Went in pretty easy.
Yeah.
You just get leaner and drier.
I get some advice from Evan Sintapani if you're looking for injectable Winstrol.
He loves his
Don't want those. Yeah. He talked all about it.
Too. It was like, this injectable Winstrol is really good. 50 milligrams per day. Let's go.
I mean, it sounds awesome, man. Considering that my last prep, like the biggest issues that I found and the most prominent, like visible oxidative stress that I felt like I literally saw, especially like when measuring like my gut motility and my digestive health and everything, all just came from the oral Winstrol those last 6 weeks. Yeah. So if I could turn that into an injectable, I feel like that would solve a lot of problems.
Wreck you. And it's weird. Some orals are worse than others. Like I finished like a cycle of injectable YK11. I had great results. I should have gotten one more vial because I was on for 4 weeks when I wanted 6 weeks, but I just miscalculated. So I asked for 2. I got 2. And then after 2 were finished, I'm like, shit, man, I got 2 more weeks left on this injectable YK11. So I was like, okay, I'll just take the Hangover then. Fuck it. And after 4 days, my digestion, my acidity in my stomach just got worse and worse and worse. I'm like, man, I don't want this at the end of the cycle. So I just stopped it. And it took like 2 weeks before my stomach acidity returned to normal. And meanwhile, I'm slamming like 20 grams of glutathione and, balancing my digestion with apple cider vinegar tablets and betaine hydrochloride to kind of get everything back. But yeah, I think the older you get also, and the more Anavar or orals you have under your belt, the worse it gets. So injectable YK11 seems to be a good replacement for Superdrol or Winstrol to a certain extent. But that's the only one that's readily available. Injectable water-based or injectable oil-based Winstrol seems to be a bit hard to find. A good quality one. That is.
Like you felt like you needed to supplement with more betaine HCl and apple cider vinegar while you were on the Anavar?
Yeah, when I was on Anavar, it lowers your stomach acidity, and then the mouth of the stomach opens, and the little bit of acid that's left goes up. And then you're like, you got acid reflux, you're like burping, and it doesn't digest well, and you're like, fuck this shit, man. It's not worth it. I had great pumps in the gym though after 4 days. Legendary.
That and melanotan really sends my acid reflux reason. It's so frustrating because I love the compounds. I mean, they're fantastic, but
ride a motorcycle.
Ride a motorcycle?
Yeah, you get like a free tan on the way to the gym, but then you get a farmer's tan.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's
two-tone here.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, you wear a shirt, Steve, you should wear motorcycle gear. Yeah, and then I get no tan at all.
That has to also partly be Thailand.
Thailand helps.
Some of these people don't have that benefit. Yeah. Wait, so you really like the YK11? Did you feel any issues with your joints?
Yeah, after a while, after about 4 weeks. But I feel issues with my joints on Winstrol also. It's way worse. After 2 weeks, you're like, everything feels like glass. You move and you're like, I really need to do like 12 sets of warm-up, otherwise I'm going to tear this muscle off. With YK, it seems like an end of the off-season compound. So I was like on test, Deca, Mint, Train, and YK11, all the 19 Nors. It's a good cycle.
How do you feel about its fucking oh my god, I'm brain farting. Myostatin inhibition.
Yeah, it's just a warm welcome. I mean, I ran epicathogen that raises follistatin levels, and I used follistatin 344 that raises follistatin levels. That's quite potent, honestly. But in the end, follistatin is not the only rate limiting factor. Your genetics, your drug intake, your food intake, how hard you can train, how well you can sleep. So it removes the cap a little bit, but is it really worth it to inhibit myostatin with some sort of follistatin secretagogue? In my opinion, no. So you get a benefit, maybe 2, 3, 4%. You get a unique feeling in your muscle, like it feels more anabolic than before. But do you really see a noticeable difference? Like, holy shit, I'm really growing now, finally? Not really. And I was using a whole vial of Follistatin 344 a day, man.
And what do you say it's not worth it? Or you feel like it's not worth it?
Follistatin 344, no. Epicatogen, no. That raised my inflammatory markers to sky high levels.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
22 nanograms per milliliter. I was like, or milligrams per liter. It's like, what the hell is this? This is like the worst response I've gotten for an over-the-counter supplement ever. So I was like, okay, that's it. So YK11 is a nice middle ground to get the anabolism from the steroid itself, potentially some follistatin increase, and no liver enzyme changes or lipid changes. So that's why I like it, because for the amount of anabolism that you get out of it, whether that's the anabolic steroid pathway, or anabolic androgen receptor pathway, or follistatin myostatin pathway, for the amount of anabolism that you get out of it, the blood work changes are minimal. So that's why I like it, because I'm old and I don't want as much, influence on my blood work anymore.
Yeah, Dom Super Slice said the same thing, that he had a little experiment with a few of his clients, and dude, raised their CRP, their inflammatory markers higher than any other anabolic that he's ever used with any of them. Follistatin.
Epicatogen, not YK11. Epicatogen, the extract from green tea. It's an over-the-counter supplement that is also touted to increase follistatin levels.
Yeah. Is there any other? Are there any other side effects that you guys feel like would be important in, like, I guess, notify an audience regarding YK11, if there's any?
I didn't see any. It costs money.
The worst side effect.
I hate the ones that cost money.
I mean, it didn't cost money for me, but my sponsor's like, "What? How many do you need? 2 bottles?" Hey, take it. Shut the fuck up. Make a video about it.
It's crazy whenever we discuss these things, man, because like you're in Thailand and then I'm in California. I can't wait to move out in March.
Yeah, you're coming over here, right? So
yeah,
you're never gonna leave.
I'm leaving in March for sure. Might be going to. Yeah, I was whatever. I was talking to Tanner about this. Either Vegas or Austin.
Everything I want. The bodybuilding culture is great. Nobody's flexing too hard. A lot of beautiful women, but you should bring your own. Stay faithful.
But you should bring your own.
And the juice is aplenty, man. And it's a good quality if you know where to look.
Okay,
so, this is a perfect place to live, man.
Awesome. I'll see you in 4 days then.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm gonna be part of the crew for forever.
Okay, reeling it back a little bit though. Cutting stack for lifestyle. Tanner, do you have any input on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what we talked about earlier. I think honestly, TRT plus GLP is the best way to go about it. If you're very overweight, like, probably 250, 300 plus, I think you should probably avoid the TRT. Once you get to a point where it's like you're lean enough, the TRT isn't going to cause any exacerbated health issues, then you can throw that in there. Quality of life will improve. A lot of these people, I mean, if their joints hurt because they're carrying so much extra tissue, BPC 157, TB 500, that's not exactly on the fat loss side of it. At the end of the day, anything that's going to help you get on the treadmill more often and eat less food, that's the end goal. Sleep more, that helps too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that are overweight, obviously they're undergoing a lot of oxidative stress just from the body fat themselves and their eating habits. So once they get their eating habits under control, it's kind of time to improve their oxidative or their antioxidant status, and then look into mitochondrial function. It's not necessarily a fat burner, but if you're optimizing mitochondrial function, ultimately it helps with fat loss, because you create this one-way street from your fat cells to the mitochondria for energy production. So you have more energy, even though you're in a caloric deficit. You get this increased ATP production. And as long as your antioxidant status is good, because improving mitochondrial function might also increase reactive oxygen species in oxidative stress. So you need to improve your antioxidant status first by taking vitamin C, NAC, vitamin E, etc. And once you got that dialed in and you eat a little bit better, I think a stack with methylene blue, which is super cheap, increases oxidative stress or increases mitochondrial function quite a bit already. And then you can look into MOTS-C, SS31, SLU, whatever you prefer, whatever makes the most sense to you. For most people, that's SLU because it's just a capsule, 250 micrograms a couple times per day. And you see dramatic changes in body composition that way. And you don't raise your heart rate. All you do is improve your insulin sensitivity and your fat oxidation. And then with time, you can see quite dramatic changes in their body composition.
I like the improvement of kidney markers with that. It makes me feel healthy.
Yeah.
Take a little peptide to feel healthy.
Yeah, the problem is as soon as you go on TRT, your creatinine levels will go up a little bit because you have more protein metabolism, obviously. Not necessarily that it worsens your kidney markers, or your kidney function, but you do see that kidney markers like creatinine and creatine phosphokinase and blood urea nitrogen all go up when you start living this lifestyle because protein metabolism goes up and your energy expenditure changes. That's why we have cystatin C to check.
Yep,
right.
It is. Cystatin GFR, yep.
Yeah, because your doctor's going to freak out. Oh, your creatinine is 1.5. But motherfucker, look at my cystatin C being 0.68.
If a doctor can't see your muscles and be like, all right, like I'm gonna like move on from this creatinine marker, then I feel like it's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
But Tanner, regards to the TRT, I'm assuming you're only recommending something like TRT if that person actually does have like a very low testosterone where they're feeling like symptoms.
Because yeah, it's kind of those two camps. You know, if the test level is low on blood work, it's just on paper. You know, if they're still getting all the effects of testosterone that they're looking for, I don't see a super dramatic reason to bring it in. You know, if it helps you sleep at night, knowing like, oh, look at me, my test level is 1,000 instead of 600. Like, sure, man. You know, whatever makes you feel good. Obviously, be responsible, be healthy. And you get into a different conversation when you have these guys. They go through a very big weight loss phase, and they're like, oh, like I did it. I'm skinny now. Oh, I'm skinny now. I want muscle. And they start, you know, trying to wiggle their testosterone dosage up. This is kind of like stage 2 of the lifestyle journey. You've lost all the weight that you didn't like how it looked on your body. Well, you got some loose skin. Might as well fill it with some muscle tissue. What sorts of things come into the conversation? Testosterone, growth hormone. You could get into the IGF and the PEG MGF and whatever hocus pocus, but honestly, you don't need to get too crazy with it. Keeping it simple oftentimes is the best bang for your buck solution for these guys.
Yeah, TRT is the most bang for your buck. It's so inexpensive. It will cost you $50 a month if you do it right.
Yep.
And you get great results for that. And then later on, you can, Pandora's box has kind of been opened. So the second logical step would be something like growth hormone or Anavar or Primo or Masteron if you can source it, right? I mean, it's so simple and so basic for most guys. Like the hardcore stuff that we use, it's not necessary for most people.
Yeah, I think because obviously I don't want to be a hypocrite. I know most guys are going to jump onto something like a DHT derivative or anything else that seems to like increase that hardening effect. I think a lot of guys look for that. So normally they'll add on something like Masteron or Primo to their test to kind of at least help that look, not just to reduce the estrogen. You
know why a lot of people say that Primo Masteron is weak as a builder? Because they take it too early. They're too fat while they run it. You should run it when sorry to say it, but when you use Primo or Masteron at 300 milligrams, for example, at 10 or 8% body fat, you see dramatic changes in your cosmetic appearance. But if you're 15%, 20% body fat, you don't see a difference. So it's
get a little bit more veiny.
Bro, you have zero veins in your body. I mean, it removes a little bit of water and it adds a little bit of hardness, but it's all covered by body fat still. So why don't you use TRT and a GLP-1 until you're 10%, 12% body fat and then look into these compounds? But, people want to jump the gun a little bit too early, which is fine. I get it. I've been there. But from experience, I can tell you, like I did my diet on Test Deca and Mint. It makes you watery as hell. But at one point you look good, and then you remove these compounds, and you're like, "Well, I look really good because now the bloat is gone." You're like, "Man, I was actually leaner than I thought I was." So why don't you diet on Test and Deca? Make it harder on yourself. Test Deca GH, blow. Yeah, just torture yourself. You're like, I finally got a 6-pack, and then you take the Test and the Deca out, or the Deca and the GH out, and then you lose like 10 pounds of water. And you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you're crazy.
I got an 8-pack now. I got veins, my chest and my abs. Looks fucking nasty, and then you kind of get it that way. And then if you then throw in the Primo, holy shit, man. Fucking ready to go to the beach in the Raves. Push physique right there,
Absolutely.
You know, so I'm pretty happy with my last diet, test Decamenta, whatever. I pulled it out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I'm pretty fucking lean. And you want to tell me for my face? I don't know what happened this diet, but my face did like super full, but everywhere else I'm like fucking peeled, besides my ass. So I'm pretty happy.
So obviously, I still don't, man. Yeah, like I did this when I was younger, right? But obviously I don't condone the use of recreational drugs or alcohol, especially alcohol, while you're using any stack of kind of like significance, to be honest.
Birthdays only.
But birthdays only. But like Tanner and I were just discussing, like I haven't drank in 7 years, and then literally like 2-3 days ago at Tanner's, then I finally had a little drinking spree for the first real time in so long.
Oh, you lost your virginity again.
Yeah,
what did you have?
Dude, they just kept getting free shots of tequila, so I probably had good like 8 to 10 shots of tequila by the end of the night.
On the first time after 7 years?
Yeah, for the first time, for sure. You could ask Tanner how shit I felt the next day, how many times I told myself I wanted to kill myself.
It's fucking poison, you know. You need to build up a tolerance for alcohol.
No, it's such dog shit, bro. Alcohol's such dog shit, dude. With peptides growing substantially in the last couple of months now, and honestly, we could list out a long list of all the peptides that have helped us. You guys have heard these peptides and these research chems in the podcast maybe a million times. Peptides I've used from APR such as BPC 157 and TP 500 for soft tissue healing, retatrutide and other GLPs, mitochondrial support such as SS31, MOTC, 5-amino-1Q, methylene blue, SLU. There's a bunch of others. Obviously, the list goes on and on. One of my favorite things, though, that I've been utilizing, such as during my last prep, that has allowed my blood work to come basically pristine, aside from slightly elevated liver enzymes at about 60 and 130 1 week after the show. And this is after a leg day because my dumbass doesn't want to skip a training day. These are probably the things that I think are the most important. So this includes like your injectable glutathione, injectable or even just normal NAC, liposoluble glutathione, GI aids such as oral BPC, oral TB, KPV. A lot of these things have probably been very substantial in reducing oxidative stress and keeping all my blood markers down, and thus keeping me as basically healthy as fucking possible that you can be while you're bodybuilding. So I couldn't be more thankful to Mike for literally showing me the ropes and also providing me with all of these things. Even the compounded supplements that he creates for blood pressure and reducing oxidative stress on all your organs, including your cardiovascular system, your liver and your kidneys. All of these that he creates have been very substantial, honestly. So you can find any of these at his site, aprhealthsolutions.com, and he has offered me a code Nyle for you guys to use, which will offer you a 15% discount off of all of that as well, since he knows that the codes are a little bit just for the homies, you know. If you guys end up using those and you like him, please let me know. Shoot in a comment, just give me a DM or something, and if you ever have any problems or any questions, I'll be here too. This is a community for me, even though I don't have a fucking Discord because I'm lazy as shit, but I fucking should make one. So love you guys, and keep training hard. But anyways, because we know homies are going to do it anyways, I guess just to make this a little obvious, what would you guys avoid? Any PEDs, what would you avoid? Say that anyone is going to go to party, a rave. I would hope that they probably avoid alcohol anyways, but you know, if someone's going to do something even just like small, say that they're going to go spend time with friends and it's a big celebration, what would you be like? Just don't take this, you know?
Try not to be on blast. Try not to be on orals and tren and all the other extremely stressful compounds. Like if you're just on TRT and you decide to go out and drink, you know, how many like 40, 50-year-old dads have the typical TRT stack prescribed? They still go drink beers with their buddies. They're going to live a full life. You know, they're really not going to cut their lifespan too aggressively short. But, you know, if you're like on a gram of stuff because you're getting all hyped up for the rave and you want to look really good for it, yeah, you're asking for disaster. We've lost guys like that. We have stimulants combined with the anabolics, everything else. At a certain point, you got to realize like, hey, live to see another day. You don't need to look 10 out of 10 for this rave. You can look 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 if it means that you survive to see another one. And
nobody's going to tell the difference anyway. Because you're looking like, I want to peak for this rave. You look absolutely shredded, right? And then you take some MDMA or whatever, and you forgot to take your clenbuterol out, so now you're fucking on the floor with a palpitating heart rate. But nobody's going to notice the difference between you looking like an 8 compared to a 10.
Most people have no clue.
They have no fucking clue.
idea.
Dude, if you have a little bit of body fat on your lower abs and you're not super shredded, you know, I mean, when you're fucking peeled, like competition peeled, you're too intimidating anyway, so you're probably not going to get laid. And you're super tired also, so you're not going to dance. Nobody's going to go talk to you. You just look there like a moody piece of shit, you know, because you dieted way too hard. So I think if you just, as long as you don't have a dad bod, I think it's fine, man. And even like I was on like 1.6 grams of gear and I held some alcohol and it's not the end of the world. But I think if you live the majority of the time as healthy as you can, so you eat healthy and you do the cardio and, you know, you take your health stack, and okay, shit happens. You drink like 18 shots of something and the next day you suffer, but you have your preventative stack ready for the next day. You know, you eat some good healthy fats and you stay hydrated, you get your electrolytes in, and even on the night that you're drinking, you keep slamming water. I think you can prevent a lot of damage that way, but sometimes life has to happen and business deals need to be made. And you know, most business deals get made over a good amount of alcohol and some barbecue, you know, or some steaks.
Good amount of alcohol and some barbecue for sure, dude.
I had a great night a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago with a friend of mine for a business deal, and then we're looking at 100K revenue. And yeah, I was plastered at the end of the evening. Fuck it. Fuck it, man. I paid the whole bill. Bill was like $700 or something, but it was $100,000 deal. So
yeah,
was you know, and even if you don't have $100,000 deal and the bill is $700, at least you have a great time. You just don't do it too often. Like if you go out drinking every weekend, that's very counterproductive. You know, but if you do it like a couple times a year, you go to a rave a couple times per year, and the rest of the time you do your daily fasted cardio and you eat healthy and you avoid processed foods, and I think it's totally fine.
Yeah,
you know.
And if you are competitive,
if you go to Ziz route or some of these other, that's just too extreme. You know.
Yeah. You got to keep in mind it's like a budget basically, you know. Right. The more you're saving your money, as in the metaphor is you're taking care of your health Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday you want to have a little bit of fun. You were super responsible those 6 days. The 7th day, yeah, you can kind of hang out, do whatever you want. But it's these guys that are unhealthy day 1 all the way through day 7. Eventually your budget can't handle that. You're gonna you know, go bankrupt.
You're gonna pay the price. Yeah,
exactly.
And then it depends on what you do in the weekend. Like I don't think drinking alcohol every weekend is okay, but if you want to smoke a joint every weekend, I'm less against that. Even though I don't like weed. Like if you want to talk a fat one by yourself on the weekend, I think that's less detrimental to your health. Besides elevating prolactin potentially, and of course, if you're on trend decade test and you know and a high estrogen, then you'd start talking. Okay, you might get some gyno because of it. It starts fucking lactating through your chest. You know, don't wear white, bro. What's going on with your nipples? Right?
Well, I think it's good for. Yeah, it's good for homies to be conscious of their genetics too, because you know some of those people, some of y'all will be able to like tolerate a lot of weed, you know, and you'll just be fine no matter what. And then some of you guys, you smoke a little bit of weed, add just a little bit of trend, and no matter what, you can't even even with P5P or Gaber, you can't.
You got radio dials and you're lactating out of your tits. So everybody's different in that sense, or microdose of mushrooms for mental health or LSD or whatever. Like in the end, alcohol is like the worst drug. Alcohol is like the worst drug you can take. Yeah, and there's so many alternatives. You know, G is again dose dependent.
I'd rather
take G every weekend than take alcohol. See some eyes rolling. And again, how much stress do you put in your body with the performance enhancing drugs? You know, come on, everybody loves just a little bit of G. They sold it at GNC. Where do you think the G from GNC comes?
The G from GNC? No,
I'm joking. But they used to sell that over the counter there.
Yeah. That would be sick though. Hey man, if you're doing it only every now and then, you get some good sleep, dude.
Yeah.
The sleep you get from G versus the sleep you get from alcohol. I mean, there's a reason why G is prescribed for narcolepsy. So
I mean,
it's pretty intense.
Allegedly, it raises growth hormone levels. Now, I did an experiment of taking G every day for like 2 months, but my growth hormone levels and IGF-1 was the same. It was a real GHB, man. It was not GBL or G
or
4GB.
BDO.
It's not that garbage.
Or BDO.
No, it was the real deal. My
what did you
growth
see?
hormone levels didn't budge. Melatonin increased my growth hormone levels way more.
Oh, really? How much melatonin?
30.
Okay, cool. I've been taking 20 every single day for like the last year.
Yeah, at 30, I started getting depressed.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't metabolize for me. And then the next day, it's like, why do I feel like an old man? You go to the gym, you're like, the thing works because you're still half asleep. You know,
Are you sure?
My GH
Are you
levels
sure
were
that
like 10, 12 nanograms per milliliter. So that was pretty good. It's like 3 to 4 IUs when you wake up.
was that when you were in the adjustment phase though?
Oh, I took it for like a couple of weeks. Maybe I should have pushed on. I read people say you got to push on, and then
you do got to push
100
on.
milligrams, it starts to get really good. But I couldn't. I couldn't function.
I don't think I'll reach 100, but yeah, I think Martin Fitzwater's still on between like 50 to 80. I don't remember which number, but yeah, but he's been loving it. So
damn,
definitely takes some adjustment time for sure.
It's a great antioxidant, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I take it once a week. 10 milligrams. I took 100 one time, and then the next day I was sleepy. So sleepy.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
All right. So I think now getting a little bit more serious. Also regarding the drinking, Quentin Aria said the same thing about his little spree of drinking after his situation with Matt. Obviously, he didn't feel very good about what was going on with his life and his future, obviously, when that situation happened. Because, like, imagine you putting all that work, and then for a year, your body depreciates, you know what I mean? And then people, like, shunning you for it, you know? I wouldn't feel great either. But, yeah, he was, like, regretting that he had that drinking spree because it really set him back, especially body fat percentage-wise in his off-season. So by the time he started prep, it was just a lot more difficult. So anyways, now talking about like competition prep, guys who are actually very determined to reach hopefully Olympia, you know, in bodybuilding, or at least, you know, get their pro card and try to go as far as they can. Would love to discuss this because I know it's going to be super different. So I guess let's just start at what would you recommend for an average prep stack for a bodybuilding competitor?
All over the place, dude.
It is all over the place. It really is. But I think that's why I love discussing it, is because there's been a lot more advancements recently, such as like Kyle Wilkes and Andrew Barry are now doing what Vigorous, what Steve's been talking about for so long, is doing that little microdosing of tren every day. Like, you don't have to go that high. I think the highest they go now is probably like 20 milligrams a day. Maybe, yeah.
Still
150 a
25.
week. Yep. 150 a week. Even for my pro guys, I don't go higher than that.
Yeah, and then of course, if everything else is dialed in, we realize we've come full circle with the trend. You know, they did like 2 ampules of parabolin back in the day. 3 was a lot. 3 was 150 milligrams net trenbolone. So we've come full circle, right? We had the GH15 boards where we went up to a gram a train, low test, high train. Yeah, it worked. It was not good for your fucking health, especially not your mental health. We all lived though, or I think most of us lived. So we did those crazy experiments, but I think we've come full circle where everybody's so dialed in with their nutrition, their training. I mean, that has evolved tremendously. And we use drugs to compensate for our inefficiency elsewhere a lot less. So that means we can use less drugs. Now, that doesn't mean that some guys can get away with a lot less than other guys. Some guys have a high tolerance, but also a high need for drugs. They need like 5 grams a year. And then I've seen cycles that are topping out at 1.5 to 2 grams or 2.2 grams for the guys that are great responders. I'm not a great responder, but I'm an average responder. So I could never do what a high responder with high tolerance could do. And they stay healthy all the way through. You look at their blood work at the end after Halo and Winstrol and whatnot, and their lipids are fine. And their liver enzymes are fine. And I'm like, fuck, I can't do anything with this because I wouldn't be able to look like that. I would need twice the dose, and my blood work would be 10 times worse. So that's why it's all over the place. It really, at that level, you need a coach that can kind of dial you in and individualize it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we could say, you know, generally speaking, you need a gram a test, but even some guys don't need that. They need no test.
Yeah.
Or
No.
they need
Yeah.
3.5 grams a test.
Plus, if you're like, say that you're a classic competitor that just got your pro card, like I feel like I'm a good example of that. Like when you're going for the debut, I'm 17 pounds below the weight cap. Like a gram of test is not necessary.
No.
Patrick put me on 600 mgs of test. And then by the time we started, I'm not sure why he had this for a short period of time, but I'm pretty sure we bumped up to 700 test prop, but I think that's the highest amount of tests I've ever taken. So obviously that's going to increase probably by the time I start increasing in my actual total body weight, right? But, you know, I'm not there yet.
The funny thing is with IFB pros, they say, a gram of test. What else, bro? What else? Because we always talk about test dosages, right? But what about the trend on top of that? And what about the Masteron on top of that? And the injectable Winstrol on top of that? At the end, you're still at 2 grams, 3 grams. But they kind of forget, you know, and then, of course, drugs are being phased in, phased out. But, 700 tests was good and a gram of test was better. But at 1,200 milligrams of test, I started getting diminishing returns. But what else were you running? Like on your cycle, Nyle, you were doing, 600 tests? And what else were you running into the show?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be the best example of that since Patrick did actually keep me on low things and I didn't actually have that much extra on top of it until I twisted his arm to let me add the Winstrol in, you know what I mean?
So what was the final cycle, like the last couple of weeks?
Final cycle was, including the Winstrol that I asked him to put in was, I would say it's 600 test prop, 500 mast. P. No. I think it was 600 test prop, 600 mass P, 50 mgs of tren. 100 mgs of tren a week. Trenase, 150 mgs of DHB. So he wanted me to take 150 mgs of tren, but I didn't want to go to 150. So he said, if you're going to go to 100, then I recommend you adding 150 mgs of DHB. So that's what the DHB is for. And then the Winstrol, the Winstrol, which I was on 37.5 mgs for the first 3 weeks. And then in the last 3 weeks, I decided to bump it up to 50. But daily, I did not need to.
Another 350, I realized. So that's 1,800 milligrams. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Milligrams. No, well, and then the Halo. And then the Halo.
30
the Halo was 10 milligrams. The Halo was 10 milligrams every day, but then the last week, I don't remember how many days ahead, was 30.
Right. But then you've probably phased out some injectables.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's say you were on like 1,800 to 2 grams. Of gear. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable for most guys. So you're like 600 tests only.
Right.
No, mother.
3 times that. Yeah.
3 times. So imagine if a pro says, I topped out at 1,200 tests. Yes, motherfucker. 3 times that. 3.6 grams. All right. So let's put the.
Hey man, it's still way better than that. It's
like
it's still
gram of test. That's cute, but what else is on top?
Yeah,
and a lot of guys forget that. And then, what about the ancillaries, bro? What about the peptides?
The clen, the
ephedrine, the aspirin, the caffeine, the mirabegron, the SLU, everything.
Oh, I definitely had mirabegron for sure.
Yeah. So you're in the end, you're like on a couple different steroids and then maybe 7 different ancillaries and peptides and fat burners. And then, so you're on a small pharmacy.
Yeah. So the ancillary stack was crazy as well.
To make the question a little bit more approachable for the people who are asking it, like, what does a competition prep look like? Maybe we'll talk more about the philosophy of when it makes sense to bring these things in. So for example, like Nyle, why did you decide around 600 milligrams of test? Like, is it scaled to your body size, et cetera? Why did you decide to add the Winstrol? Why does it make sense to have the DHB in there? Just like you said, because you didn't want to up the trends, you add something else that's alternative. That way, it's not like here's the stack that everyone should be taking. It's more like okay, if I wanted to build my own stack, what sorts of information do I need to intelligently put these pieces together in a way that works for me? Not copying anyone else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think one of the most important parts, a lot of this is stuff that we've discussed pretty often on the podcast. So this will be quick for us to discuss, but you got to base your history, your genetics and your history, whatever you've run in the past and how you've reacted to it. And that's going to be a basis for what you're going to be running this time. If you gain a little bit of mass, then maybe you could tolerate more, but there's no point in jumping the gun and going way higher. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you'll be okay with what you've been running, pretty close to what you've been running before. And then obviously when it comes to the orals, you want to minimize those as much as possible. Something Andrew Barry, Kyle, and I talked about on our podcast as well. And I think it was really cool that Patrick decided to do literally no orals, except for I told him that I do well with Halo. So that's why he used the Halo that time. But, basically it was what? It was mass test, the 150 DHB and 100 trend. That was our whole stack. And then added the Halo like the last week to last couple weeks, right? But essentially, without the Halo, that would have been no orals, no Anavar, no Winstrol, no Superdrol, no other orals during that. And that definitely was the cleanest look I've had. I had people coming up to me who don't even follow bodybuilding who were just like, dude, your skin looks so amazing. What do you do? And I'm just like, I'm Asian. But then I added the Winstrol and I'm like, all right, I see where the oxidative stress is coming in.
Amazing.
I see where the side effects are coming in. This shit's kind of rough.
Yeah.
So yeah, like literally, like Tanner and I were talking about how I still have leftover acne on my like chest and shit from the Winstrol I was running, and it's been over 7 weeks now. I've been in my health phase and it's still not gone.
Oh man!
Versus before the Winstrol, I was just clean everywhere and didn't have any acne whatsoever.
And did you run oral or injectable Winstrol?
I had oral. I only had oral. I didn't. Yeah. But
that's
now I know
with your digestion, and that makes the acne worse.
Definitely fucked my digestion the most. I was literally telling people that it was a significant difference in how I was digesting my 2 carb up days on my last show versus previously. And I was running Retta the same the entire time, didn't change that variable. So the only variable that was changed was the Winstrol, and it was a significant change in my digestive motility, as well as my waist size was a little bit bigger that last show.
Yeah, I don't like orals anymore either. I got a boatload of pharmaceutical Anavar here just screaming at me. Steve, when are you going to take it?
So I will be real with you guys though. The most judges do like that look from the last show. The look where you're a little bit more fuller, your veins are a little bit more popped. Your fullness and hardness is just, it's like, you just look more 3D under the lights than the people that don't have that. So got me some better placings.
So did you ever try sublingual Winstrol to take it underneath the tongue and absorb it that way? So that's an alternative.
I have had,
if you don't,
I have had, like a, is it, would it be like a troche, like a troche or troche?
Basically, yeah, or you take the tablets, you crush them underneath with your teeth, and you put the saliva underneath your tongue. I mean, it works just the same.
I had that like a couple of years back, but I don't think I have a source for that anymore.
We could just do it with tablets. You just crush it up, just dissolve it underneath your tongue, and leave it there for 20 minutes. And works just fine. Better than boofing it.
That's my favorite method.
You bypass the digestive tract also. There's always alternatives ways, man. But injectable Winstrol is the best because you create that depot underneath the skin. Like ideally, you just do it sub-Q, so you don't create this inflammation in your skeletal muscle. And then depending on your posing trunks, you just kind of zipper up and down where it's all hidden. And they can run it all the way up until the show.
Okay, so I think, man, there's so many things we could all talk about. So we're going to have to do another one. Oh, damn. Fuck. So I know that this is going to be there's a lot of info when it comes to this, but I think this is super important and really helpful for competitive bodybuilders. But you two are two of the people that I'd go to first when it comes to reducing oxidative stress and whatever supplements, ancillaries could possibly be on the table that could help us basically elongate our life as bodybuilding competitors. So if we can like discuss this, I think we have like 20 minutes before we can jump to the Q&A. What things would you recommend for a competitor to add to their list, given that they have a healthy diet? They're eating their fruits and veggies, so there's a lot of variance in their diet, so their gut is healthy, and they're having enough, antioxidants through their nutrition, and they're doing their cardio like they should be, and they're training hard like they should be, and they're getting enough sleep like they should be. So
before tackling it in the traditional sense, I would actually start with the brain. I think this is a super, super, super under-respected area of reducing stress. Unfortunately, we've all seen it. There's a lot of guys who have spent most of their lives in bodybuilding, and they're just not all here anymore. And a lot of them are lovable people, and I adore them. But I know that there's things that we can do that probably could have prevented some level of that. You can potentially increase your brain-derived neurotrophic factor if you're not engaging in any kind of cognitively stimulating activities on a regular basis. That would also help you. Even things like, cerebral lysin, if you want to go into the pig brain route, there's a lot of different things you can do. SSRIs have also potential in that field. So that, I think, is just under respected, because you don't feel it right away. You do your first couple cycles, you're like, I feel great, I look really good. And then 20 years down the line, you can't type a coherent Instagram caption. You got to catch it early and don't let it get so bad.
Mm-hmm. So how do we catch that? And what do we do?
Preventative measures. I mean, minimizing the trend, which has been shown to cause a lot of amyloid plaque buildup. Now, you can remove the amyloid plaque with melatonin, not melatonin. I always get these confused. Melatonin removes that. Now, trend worsens your sleep and alters your melatonin secretion. So supplementing with 3 milligrams or more, basically as much as you can tolerate. Like some guys like 20 milligrams, some guys like, 100 milligrams. Some guys can tolerate just a couple doses per week. I think melatonin is severely underrated when it comes to preventative measures regarding your brain, because every time it metabolizes, it acts as another antioxidant. And on every step that it metabolizes downwards, it acts as an antioxidant. So the amount of antioxidant benefits that you get from melatonin is just stellar. But some people can tolerate more than others. So that's something you can look into. And I think the second thing you can look into is glutathione, whether that comes from N-acetylcysteine or glycine N-acetylcysteine, which seems to produce a little bit more glutathione, or the liposomal glutathione or acetyl glutathione, right? There's so many oral versions available. None of them are as good as taking injectable glutathione directly, whether that's 1,800 milligrams IV or 400 milligrams intramuscularly 3 times a week. I think that's something that everybody should do when you take steroids, even on TRT. And so I take my 3 shots of 600 milligrams weekly. 1,800 milligrams in total. I used to do IV, but since I lost the will to get a nurse over to my house to do the IV administrations for me, I just administer it myself. I can look into NAD+, 20 milligrams sub-Q daily, 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams methylene blue. These are all great antioxidants that help to keep the body going and prevent oxidative stress, and thus prevent DNA damage and brain damage and cancer potentially, and so many, and improve your skin texture. Like, the worst things steroids do are for your skin texture. I mean, how many of these pros look like ashtrays? It's insane, So.
I do kind of want to look like an ashtray by the time I go on stage, though. So a little bit of Winstrol whitefish diet.
I don't know, but not even
destroy some of that collagen.
The face you want to look nice and youthful and attractive. All these guys have skin folds and their skin is covered in craters, and then they don't shave, and it makes it even worse. So, I know it's not really a face worth sitting on,
One thing
Whoa, Dad,
much a fuckable face, And what's the point if you have a phenomenal body, but your face looks terrible,
Damn.
Nobody's gonna want to, put the pillow on it, but it's not sustainable either, unless you're into that stuff.
Oh man,
it's one of the things I like with one of the coaches that I was one of the coaches I dabbled with for just a very, very, very short period of time. But Neil Yoda-Hill recommended he would literally have on the plan 3 to 5 grams of glutathione every 5-ish or so weeks. Obviously, he said IV, but if you have injectable, just do injectable too.
Yeah,
but you don't normally have coaches say that. They normally just don't have that on plan. They don't have these things on plan, so that's kind of cool.
The coaches that are dialed in, they do that nowadays. Most of the guys that you had on the podcast, like Dom Supersliced and Chris Tuttle, and all those guys that are really dialed in when it comes to the nutrition. I think they're way more in touch than some of the old school coaches that might have bigger names.
Totally.
But they're still in the Aldactone and Lasix route, and that's so out of touch. Yeah, I hate to say it, man, but it's like they stopped learning.
What would you do instead? Instead of
diuretics?
Yeah.
Just get fucking peeled, and you don't need diuretics. You can run GH all the way to the show. You don't have to pull test unless you have thick skin, but you can address that too. So if you get in true condition, you don't have to pull anything, and you don't need diuretics. You keep drinking water to stay full. But if you have a little bit thicker skin, okay, you might need to pull the GH and the test out 2 weeks ahead of time, and then reintroduce the GH to restore some fullness. But again, it's case by case and person dependent, And again, you see the guys that run train year round in the off season as well, or high decade, that have thicker skin. That's what the 19ers do. They thicken your skin. So if you can get away from that or run low train,
I would say there's something to be said though for those who have thicker skin or have a watery physique where it's like they have trouble, I think, staying dry when they do carb up, using even something like as little as a quarter of like a hydrochlorodiazide and triamterene.
And pacliflozin, you're welcome. Hey,
yeah, little
blood glucose in range,
little
prevents spillover, and excess sodium gets excreted. So, and pacliflozin, 25 milligrams while carbing up.
Great
You'd be
for the
surprised
kidneys.
how dry these guys stay, and it doesn't act as a crazy diuretic. It actually is one of those drugs that has proven to be has longevity benefits, unlike metformin. Doesn't fuck with your intestinal tract, doesn't make you bloated. Improves kidney function to a certain extent. So, and pacliflozin, dapagliflozin, 10 milligrams, 25 milligrams before bed. I think that's the best thing people can look into if they want to stay dry.
Cool. Regarding the methylene blue that you were discussing earlier, are there any limitations to dosing that you would?
More is better, bro. Have you just seen Avatar?
Yeah,
for 3, 5, 10 milligrams, and then depending on what else you're doing, like if you're running an SSRI like fluvoxamine or vortioxetine for neurogenesis, then obviously you can compound the risk for serotonin syndrome. Now, I'm a perfect example. I run 50 milligrams fluvoxamine daily to control my mood, and 10 milligrams methylene blue daily.
And you don't have any issues?
In the morning, and by the time it's nighttime, I take the fluvoxamine, and I have zero issues with serotonin syndrome. Now, when I combine 3 milligrams methylene blue and 2.5 milligrams vortioxetine, I had full-blown serotonin syndrome. I was salivating, and my body was hot and cramping on the couch. I was like, fuck this, do I need to go to the hospital? Stubborn, so I wrote it out. And then the vortioxetine went in the trash. 2 weeks later, I was on fluvoxamine. I was fine. So again, it's highly dependent on what else you're doing. But higher doses of methylene blue up until 200 milligrams per serving have been linked to serotonin syndrome. I did a pretty extensive deep dive on my YouTube channel on methylene blue. It's a nitric oxide synthase inhibitor. So if you got erectile problems where you have a long-lasting erection from Viagra, another blue medication, then you might need to inject some methylene blue into your penis to bring that erection down. And then people say, yeah, but methylene blue is a nitric oxide synthase inhibitor. I can never get a pump. No, bro, just don't inject it. And don't take 50 milligrams in an injectable route. So again, the dose is the poison when it comes to all of these drugs. 150 milligrams a tren or 25 milligrams a tren per week, totally fine. You get all the benefits, minimal side effects. And it's the same as 3, 5, 10 milligrams methylene blue daily. Minimal side effects, if any, and all of the benefits. Increased energy, increased mood by MAOI inhibition, right? Improved or reduction in the metabolism of dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Antioxidant benefits. So the list is extensive of the benefits. But if you increase the dose to 25 milligrams per day, you might see that your hematocrit starts to drop or that you get issues elsewhere. So less is more in this case.
Do you ever think there's a time when you need to cycle off of methylene blue? I mean, I would assume like anywhere from 5 milligrams or below. No, maybe not.
It's good to cycle off anything, but for a while. So if I don't need the productivity or the mood boost or the antioxidant benefits while I'm on TRT, for example, when I'm not training as hard, so I don't need to compensate for my bodybuilding lifestyle, then I don't take it. But when I'm bodybuilding, then yeah, I would like to take 5 to 10 milligrams methylene blue 5 times a week, maybe 7 times a week.
Cool. Okay. All right. Thanks for blood
preventative aid. Make you less stupid and less oxidative.
Yeah. Something I was also suggesting too that maybe you guys can bounce off of, but been making sure that I supplement with a gram of alpha GPC and about 2 grams of CDP choline every day, just to kind of reduce, any dementia or Alzheimer's potential in the future.
It doesn't work for everyone. I've had some people actually have intolerances to it, which is pretty weird.
To what?
Intolerances to the choline and the alpha GPC.
Oh, to both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just if you're going to do the experimentation, just be prepared for the chance that they could cause problems.
What kind of problems do you see?
Anxiety attacks, panic attacks.
All right, cool. I'm glad I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, some people need a lot of choline because they metabolize it through it quite fast, and they love Huperzine A to prevent the breakdown or uridine 5-monophosphate. But if I take too much, I feel weird. So I take maybe for cognitive tasks, maybe 300 milligrams uridine 5-monophosphate and 600 milligrams alpha GPC, and I'm good for 4 hours. But I can't take Huperzine A, for example. And I also take choline and inositol for liver health. Right? It helps with fat mobilization and overall liver health. So I get maybe 3,000 milligrams of choline from supplements, and then another 3,000 milligrams of choline from eggs, right, or dietary sources.
3,000?
Yeah, it's
from
quite a
eggs?
lot.
How many eggs you be eating?
10. Has a lot of choline.
Like 200 mgs normally, right? About per egg?
Yeah, per egg.
On average.
So it's about 2,000 milligrams. So let's say I get 5,000 milligrams of choline per day from dietary sources, plus beef, plus salmon, plus whatever. And then the 600 milligrams alpha GPC and uridine 5-monophosphate. That's more than enough for cognitive tasks. But I know people that metabolize their choline quite readily, and they need 10,000 milligrams in total.
Wow.
So again,
that's
it
good to
depends.
know.
And
Yeah.
ramp up the dose. Start low, build your way up.
Okay,
See where you end up.
Yeah.
Because I know, like Derek, more plates, more dates. He takes like 1,200 milligrams alpha GPC like 3 times a day with Huperzine A because he just burns through it real fast. Yeah, he burns through it real fast, and he loves it. That's why he put it in all of his stacks. And like Derek, if I take that much, I'll be on the floor salivating and foaming at the mouth.
It's got to be that autism working at hyperspeed.
Yeah, so everybody's different in that sense,
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I like Noopept and Dihexa way more than alpha GPC or Bromantane, but that's basically a crack.
Bromantane?
Yeah, Bromantane is basically a stimulant.
It's fire.
Yeah, I love Bromantane.
Dihexa is nice too.
A lot of nootropic or a lot of deep tabs were made on Bromantane.
Yeah. How do you feel about Noopept?
I like it. Yeah, it just works too short. So you need to dose it like 3 times. If you get like an 8-hour session, back when I was still working my ass off, like now I'm a little bit lazy because I got a daughter and motorbikes and, enough money to last me. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take a little sabbatical. But when I was like really, really grinding on these deep dives, I would work like 8 to 12 hours per day on researching. I would take a Dihexa in the morning and then Noopept 10 milligrams, maybe 2 or 3 times per day with some alpha GPC at the end to kind of finish off the day, because then I felt that my choline levels were depleting a little bit. Or I would take a Bromantane with Noopept, but never Dihexa and Bromantane together. That would be a little bit too stimulatory. I'm just sitting there, just moving the mouse, too overstimulated. But yeah, if you've got a good nootropic stack, you can really get a lot of work done. And Noopept was always a part of that. Yeah. I like that more than alpha GPC. Yeah.
What about both of them together though?
Alpha GPC and Noopept? Yeah, at the last serving of the day. So maybe a third serving of Noopept and then 600 milligrams alpha GPC with 200, 300 milligrams uridine 5-monophosphate to kind of, usually by the time I go to the gym. And then after the gym, I would dose that for another 3 hours of work. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm on PubMed, just scripting. Yeah. Listening to K-pop or synthwave or something like that.
K-pop.
Yeah. You can't understand the
little
lyrics,
baby metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Real quick, guys. So while I was looking at the YouTube analytics, I actually saw that 85% of you guys that watch this channel are not subscribed. And I want to ask very little of you guys. But if you enjoy this podcast, if you find value in it, then please do me this one favor and subscribe to the channel, because doing so helps me get bigger and greater guests like the guests you are listening to today. Also, this channel is not sponsored, which means only the companies that I work with, which are Young LA and Huge Supplements, are the companies that can help fund this channel by you guys using the code Nyle. So code Nyle gives you a discount of 15% off of Young LA, and code Nyle also gives you a discount of 10% off of Huge Supplements. And if you decide to purchase anything from any of these companies, it will help immensely for me by using my code. And this way, I can travel to other guests and also upgrade an equipment to make this podcast bigger and better for you guys.
Tanner, how's the
I need a
Aston
photo over
Martin
here so
of
people
yours?
don't hear it.
What's that?
You bought an Aston Martin, right?
Yeah, actually, I have the key case right here.
Fuck yeah, dude.
What is that?
He was asking about like the car. Now I got to sit in it the other day too.
Oh my God, it was so sexy, dude. Oh,
Really
fuck.
fun, dude.
It's amazing though. Like I know you don't flex it online, but I think I saw a picture one time. I'm like, fuck man, I'm so happy for this guy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw that
Because
one
it's-
flex, the fucking pumpkin spice latte flex.
Yeah, my photographer that shot that one with all the leaves around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. I was telling you about how business and stuff was going, and
Yeah.
it's just real ever since.
Now I know.
I'm so happy for you,
Treat
bro.
yourself,
Seriously.
man.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
treat yourself. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a lot of work what we do. And then if you want to treat yourself, just fucking do it. I mean, I got
Yeah.
6 motorbikes now.
God.
Yeah, but you've worked hard enough the last like decade to get to
Yeah.
that point. I'm still skin in the game. I gotta work hard still.
Just
Fuck both of you guys.
Keep saving, man. I mean, I saved all my money for like 15 years and put it in assets.
Yeah,
Now
I
it
feel like
doesn't
I'm
make-
fucking slacking off mad.
What? I mean, you're doing good also, right?
No, not compared to y'all. No, not at all. I've been in this for
Money
fucking
advice.
longer than. I feel like technically I've been in this for longer than almost both of you. And I'm fucking doing the worst. Yeah, I've been in this since fucking
Get more
what,
affiliates.
2015 or something. I don't know, for like
Sign
what,
up more
11
with
years
these
now.
peptide companies.
Yeah, I know.
That's what told him.
I
I
just,
think he's gonna, right?
It's like
Yeah.
10, 15, 30K a month for each peptide company.
Tanner and I were talking about this, that like, I just like, I've been focusing I just focus so much on like my growth and the podcast, but that I have like 0% of my brain that goes towards business, or I think focusing on my sponsors or whatever, and even my ads.
Don't you want to buy an Aston Martin?
Yes, of course I do.
So dude,
That's why
you
we're
got a
making
huge
changes.
platform. You got a million
Yeah, I know.
subs on IG. You got 500 on YouTube, and just reach out to Modern Aminos or whatever. Like, look at Tanner's link tree, man. What the fuck?
I know,
And
I
I'm
know.
sure
I
all
see you
of them are,
pushing
like,
it on your
paying a
stories all the
couple
time
$100
now, and
to,
I'm
like,
like,
$10,000 to $15,000. You put it all together. At the end of the month, you're like, fuck. Which car should I buy this time?
Yeah.
right.
No.
I just
No,
never
gotta
like
save up.
pushing
You're
stuff, but
responsible.
I'm
save it up.
realizing
Just
now.
put it away. I did it for 15 years. Now it doesn't fucking matter. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I mean, living in California for the last almost 10 years now has not helped either, though. That's for sure.
no,
They're
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
you alive.
I
Yeah,
told
yeah,
Tanner that the 1 year I made so much money, like the most money I ever made was 1 year. I just blew up out of nowhere. I made between 300, 400K in that year, which
Mhm.
obviously is like 4 times as much as I make now. But like back then, I remember California took half of that. So I only had like 200 or so for that year. And that was my fault because I had a CPA who didn't know how to take advantage of, my tax, fucking exemptions and shit for me.
and you guys all work online. So at one
But
point, you got to look into the
I was a
Dubai
kid.
thing.
Yeah. The Dubai thing?
Yeah, just set up a company there. You have your affiliates, but they all pay out in Dubai. The American government doesn't know until you get audited.
No.
You just
Sick.
or you're renounced. You get a passport somewhere else in the Dominican
It's okay. They'll never
Republic.
listen to
It's
this
like
podcast.
25K or something. It's like one affiliate.
Well, anyways.
We'll talk about it when you're here.
Yeah. I'm still around though, because we got this audience. We got all the cool guys here that listen to the podcast that are like some of the dopest people I've
if you
ever
wanna
met in the
stay
world. So I
there, then
appreciate
yeah.
you guys.
The best thing I
For
ever
sure.
did was leave Holland
But-
and unregister. I haven't paid taxes in 20 years.
Okay. Bet.
Crazy.
I'll take note of that.
For what? For a government that's
Yeah.
going to write me in the ass?
I do
Oh,
have the
thanks.
transparent shirts now finally out though. So
There you go.
if you guys if you guys want to help your boy out and also want to help rep the podcast and the little family, you know, you guys can grab the transparent shirts, hoodie and sweats too.
XL.
Yeah.
Double XL. The bigger it is, the more it can rep, you know, the bigger the font is too.
I just ordered my first pairs.
Huge, yeah.
I love you guys. I wouldn't be here without y'all. Thank y'all, homies.
Of course.
Let's rip this Q&A.
All right, let's go.
Okay. There's a lot. Melcarni Matio asks, Are Chinese orals worth it if the dosage is correct to save a few bucks?
Sure.
As long as your inflammatory markers aren't screwed on blood work.
Yeah.
But that requires you to experiment with them first, huh?
Well, you can inject 1 cc sub-Q and do your inflammatory markers 2 days later, see what's going on. You know, personally, I would prefer to stick to underground labs that you know and trust. And with the Chinese, you'd never really know which oils they use. So at least the brewers that are, you know, tried and proven, well, Tanner probably's got a couple on his list, and I got a couple on my list. Those are tried and proven once we use ourselves, and they predominantly use MCT oil. Now, will they get the raws from China? Sure. Do they batch test it before they produce it? Sure. Right, it goes to Januszek or some other third-party testing where they checked the raws, and then all you have to worry about is heavy metals. Right? They don't check for that. So once in a while, you should check your heavy metal concentration, your aluminium, and your arsenic, and all that stuff.
Aluminium.
Fuck. So mine was elevated, but not because of the underground labs. It's because I use those aluminium foil for my salmon. And I was like, okay, I better put some baking foil in there. And so I put aluminium foil, then baking foil, baking stuff, and the stuff that doesn't stick. And then the salmon goes on top, and then my aluminium came in range again. Or aluminum.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay, cool. This is why we love to talk to you, man. You have all the little inside experiments that you've done on yourself.
You have to. It's like, why is my
holy shit,
so
that
high?
actually makes an effect.
Because I get the aluminium foil from the China as well. And so it's not the underground lab.
Yeah.
But yeah, trust your source. And if you don't know which source to trust, check out the link tree of the guests on this show. or go to Transcend. Right? I mean, they got pharmaceutical stuff also. So I'm sure the oils that they use is just as fine as any underground lab that knows how to do it. You just have to get a script. You know, talk.
One thing I do like is that their compounded pharmacies that they use are normally pretty damn great, especially the glutathione. Most people don't people need to jump on the Anazao glutathione. I was telling Tanner about that. I injected Tanner's fucking glutathione and had like crystals in it, and fuck, I couldn't walk for like the next 2 hours.
I used desperate.
Shit. And then you use the Anazao and it goes in like water.
Great for everything, you know. I mean, it's online. You can find it.
Transcend link in the description, brothers.
There you go. But
they do need to step on their shit.
No,
that's one thing. They need to step on their shit, though, for sure. I'll be transparent about it. Andy Morales asks, how would you raise test to 1,000 nanograms per deciliter naturally? What supplements?
It's not possible for everyone. I think it's doable for the majority of men. I've had guys get like 2,300 on enclomiphene alone. It's possible. But if you said just supplements, start with the basics: sleep, diet. If you're hitting all your micronutrients, you know, you use a little beef liver instead of a multivitamin if you really want to.
Yeah.
Get your 8 hours, stay active, move around. Don't sit on your couch and play Call of Duty all day. You'll be impressed that your test levels will come up probably 300 something points. On top of that, yeah, there's some supplements, you know, you can wiggle around with your SHBG and get more free tests and maybe bring your total test up more. But are you going to see like a crazy significant difference? You're going to look like 10 times better than when you were natty? Wow.
No.
You will feel better. That's for sure.
Feel better.
Your recovery will be better.
For a couple of days, raises
that's the best
total
part.
Testosterone levels temporarily because it increases your SHBG, so less gets converted because it's free to estradiol or DHT. So that is something you can look into if you want high levels for once. But yeah, if you want to make the gains, then HCG monotherapy and clomiphene, actual TRT, real full-blown steroid cycles, that's where it's at, you know? or you have a genetic polymorphism where the testosterone doesn't attach to the androgen receptor. If what is it, Cushing's syndrome or something like that?
Oh my God, that sucks.
And then my serum testosterone is like 1,800 nanograms per deciliter, but I look like a little girl. So well, it's floating around. It doesn't get where it needs to be, you know?
Damn.
Yeah. Or Klinefelter syndrome, what is it called? So I know guys that have naturally 1,000 nanograms per deciliter, and the large majority of those guys, they don't look like anything at all because there's an androgen receptor problem. And I know guys that have like 300 nanograms per deciliter, jacked. Because it's not in the blood.
Crazy,
it's the androgen
dude?
receptor pumping out proteins. So in the end, serum levels are interesting. It's not the end all be all. It's how you feel, how you look, how you perform. If you get your dick up, it's hard. You're cognitive, you're positive, aggressive, everything is going well. And then you get your blood levels back. 300 nanograms per deciliter, bro. I need to be on TRT. And they go on TRT and then they're pros. You know? so it happens, man. It happens. I remember last time I was like off cycle, I was on HCG monotherapy and my testosterone was 900 nanograms per deciliter. I felt like a little girl. It's like,
wow,
what's going on? But I was just so used to having 2,000.
Yeah.
You know?
I do got to say, the cool thing, I think it was really dope that I know I dropped tests completely, and when I went on just HCG and then my test went to 191, I felt like dog shit. But now that I'm back on 160 tests, I feel absolutely fucking amazing. I feel like I'm on a cycle right now. So I don't know. There's something to be said about at least having a little bit of that fluctuation. Just become conscious.
You're more sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah. And also regarding like those genetics you were discussing, Joe Palacios has to be one of those guys, bro. Because I do believe that those pictures back in the day, he was actually natty. And then when he jumped on, bro, fucking ballooned, dude.
Yeah, I know plenty of guys. And they come off cycle and they stay exactly the same. You're like, what the? How? Well, they're meant to be bodybuilders, and the rest of us are just along for the ride, basically.
Yeah, we're common folk, man.
Yeah,
we're sitting. They're on stage.
Just an Asian dad, like my dad, the Asian professor, 5'3", 120 pounds. Mom's like 4'11", like 100 pounds. Absolutely phenomenal,
you know
man.
Kung Fu, right?
Oh shit! I wish. No, instead his elbows and his knees crack, and he's hardly ever lifted a weight in his life, so that's chill. No, he does lift weights, but he just doesn't have the genetics.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh man, maybe you're right, dude. Maybe I should.
I've been trying to get my dad on TRT, but
I feel like my dad would do great on TRT. Like he's so empathetic, and he's like what I want to be when I grow up, and it's something that I've realized recently. But except that he just has always seemed to be kind of a lowered. I don't know. Like he answers to my mom. Does it make sense? It's not. Yeah. And like I don't do that.
He
like,
puts his foot down, stands up for himself.
So with Asian women, it goes like this, right? In the beginning, they're very submissive, and then as you get married, they rise the ladder. They go up the ladder over the decade. They do it very slow, and they make you believe it's your idea. They're very manipulative in the sense. And then now I've been married for 10 years, and my wife is like, I'm like, she wasn't this mouthy when we got together. I let it happen, you know. I know.
Oh man!
But they do get more feisty, man, which I like. It's like less of the submissive bullshit and more assertive, and then yeah.
Relationship.
Add
Once
spice.
in a while, you're gonna into the pillow.
Yeah, Dad. We have a lot to learn from you, Dad. Tanner and I are newly single men, so we have a lot to deal with here.
Come on, man! You got like a hot Caucasian girl. You're like me. You're trying to make this planet into one like homogenous color. You're doing well, man.
Your Asian children can hang out someday.
Yeah,
I'll be friends.
Raghu Brov asks, what are some pharmaceutical interventions that are underrated and are underutilized in bodybuilding?
Impagliflozin, earlier.
Do you think so? I actually feel like those are not nearly as underrated or not underrated, underutilized anymore.
I think impagliflozin, something like that. or
Impact of flows. Okay, I don't know that.
Neutrol, like some of the stuff that we introduced over the last couple of years that me and Tanner were talking about.
Yep.
Like we have an audience, but it's not big enough. And then usually there's a delay before these fuckers actually catch up, like mitochondrial support. I talked about the shit 3 years ago. Now it's popular. Now, and I forgot it was whose idea it was. You know?
Yeah.
So comes or like finally now people accept that Primo and Masteron and EQ lower estradiol levels. I wonder who gave them that idea 4 or 5 years ago. So there's like with this stuff, there's a delay. So I would recommend people to look into empagliflozin as a health management.
Okay.
When you're in the off season, doesn't make you flat. When you're on high dose growth hormone, prevents excessive water retention. And again, it's one of the few compounds like dapagliflozin that has been shown to have anti-aging benefits. So that it might add a couple of years to your life, which you're actively trying to take off by taking all these PEDs and RICs. Tanner, I'm sure you have a couple suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, the SGLT2s in general, that's a great place to start. I only first found out about them, I think, from a Leo video like 3-4 years ago or something like that. And then obviously you guys have all talked about it. Ezetimibe, in typical medical practice, they'll always start with statins for guys. I've found more success doing the opposite, actually starting with ezetimibe and then switching over to a statin. I mean,
I think they've changed that recently. I think ezetimibe is more of a...
start changing it. I mean, all the doctors didn't get the memo.
Well, I think maybe just the younger doctors, because I have a doctor that's in his 30s. Yeah.
So the clinics that we all work with, right? Merrick, Algo, Transcend, they all adopt this kind of practice where they switch to ezetimibe first. The lifestyle interventions first, of obviously citrus bergamot, amyloid extract, and if that doesn't work, then ezetimibe, and then later on the statins. But for 99% of the people with lifestyle interventions, supplements, and ezetimibe, there's no need for statins at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I would even be able to, I'll literally just give, obviously the genetics are variants, but like, dude, I wouldn't literally even just give my own stat, because I don't know if I told you I got my blood work done, like, was it a week after my prep? And my LDL, I think, was like 80 and my HDL was 50 or 60. Ratio was like 1.2 to 1.4.
That's great.
Everything in range. Yeah. I was very surprised myself. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty fucking surprised.
What's the stack?
But dude, a gram of citrus bergamot. Obviously, ezetimibe has helped a lot. I do have telmisartan at 80 milligrams because I do have a propensity of high blood pressure for my dad. Nattokinase and Arjuna extract in the mornings fasted, also because I have that propensity for high blood pressure. What else? There's some other things. Carlson's fish oil bottled in the fridge, so it's not as the risk of oxidation is a lot less than those pills that are outside of the fridge. And doing about 10 grams, spraying that on my food per day, but distributed throughout the day, so I don't have weird
per milliliter.
Weird diarrhea. Huh? The potency?
What's the potency of omega-3s per milliliter or per capsule?
I don't really remember exactly what it is, but I do just weigh it on the scale and spray 10 grams throughout the day on my food. And that's been helpful for sure. Plus, even Tanner and I had a little experience where I was a little bit depressed, and I realized that I haven't been taking my fish oils throughout my travels for like a good 2 weeks or something. He gave me like 6 grams of fish oil, and I felt immediately, like in 2 hours, I felt happy. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's very underrated in that sense.
I've got to say, as another underrated ancillary, water. I've been blown away. I'm not even joking. The number of dehydrated anabolic users I've encountered blows my mind. They're like, yeah, no, like I drink water, like I drink a lot of water, and I actually get them to track it, and it's under a gallon a day. Yeah. Even for guys that are hitting a gallon and they're still showing signs of dehydration, I don't know how to tell you this. You need to drink more than a gallon.
And 4 monsters on top of that, which
yeah, really. They love their caffeine more than they like actual water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then for a lot of us also staying on top of electrolytes in the same time, because there's a lot of people that'll just chug that water, not replace electrolytes, and they're like, why am I dehydrated?
I think amla extract is a good supplement. Somebody on the Vigorous Q&A recommended that to me. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. And that's one of the few supplements that actually raises HDL besides citrus bergamot. So 1,200 milligrams amla extract. I think Himalaya, that supplement brand from India that has liver 52, double strength, and some of the other, Ariaviric adaptogens. But this one actually works. Amla extract, AMLA extract. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good addition.
Okay. A little quick insertion. Essential Forte, this kind of pharmaceutical from overseas that Evan Centopani was recommending as his favorite for, I think, essentially just longevity. Not sure if you guys know much about this. I brought this up with Tanner while I was there.
I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, I guess it's just like this fat that, yeah, I don't really remember.
For the liver, right? It seems.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
What's in it?
UFA, unsaturated fatty acids, vitamin B, vitamin E. I didn't think that there was any interesting active ingredients in it, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
He just give it a run, see if it improves something.
Yeah, I would love to give it a try too. He seemed very serious about this being like the best that he's taken. So,
if Evan says that, then I believe him.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Before we jump to this next question, equipoise, since it's so popular right now, because everyone
Kidney
is
damage, bro.
Right, in chickens and whatever.
How much do we believe that there is actually an underlying like increase of like kidney toxicity from equipoise, or if that's basically negligible?
Now would be the time to see it, because nobody can get Masteron and Primo, and a lot of people have switched to Boldenone, and I see I see the anxiety go up. I see the GABA cells literally go up. Right?
Have you actually
before bed? Yeah, I could see that in my film.
Oh shit, that's crazy. That's insane.
So this guy, they buy 4 bottles of GABA, 250 milligram or 250 tablets with 500 milligrams each. It's like, oh, he must be on EQ. So besides that, people needing a little bit more GABA and seeing some increased instances of anxiety questions on my Q&A. I don't see any kidney issues, man. And otherwise, it would have been around since the 80s, because allegedly all those guys from the 80s were on high doses of EQ from veterinary grade, right? Pfizer, what is it, Equipoise or Bolton, not Ganabol, whatever it was called. So, and they were like 50 milligrams for 1 milliliter. I would shoot like 100 milliliters of that shit every week. And those guys don't have kidney issues. So with Boldenone, the funny thing about scientific evidence is that one study comes out, kidney issues with Boldenone, and then 20 other research teams are like, oh, that's interesting. We can get some funding for this and try to prove it or debunk it. And then you got 20 other studies. So studies get duplicated all the time. And then there's a boatload of scientific evidence based on one subject matter. But it's never been investigated in Primo or Masteron. Like, try to find kidney studies in Masteron and Primo. Doesn't mean that those are kidney safe. It just means that it hasn't been studied. So we have no data.
Biggest thing I've noticed with the compound, because I've always been a huge fan of EQ. Primo never really felt as good to me. Masteron never felt as good to me. I tell people all the time, when I went from being natural to getting on TRT, that dramatic mental improvement, because my test was very low, it felt like the same jump going from TRT to test and EQ. So I'm a huge EQ fan. And so as a result of that, I've done a ton of research into it and tested it on a bunch of my different clients. And it's really just, a lot of people end up with this anxiety because they think that you can dose it the same way that you dose test and mast or test and Primo. These guys end up getting their the estradiol pulled, and they're like 5 or 10. No wonder you feel so anxious all day, brother. Like, your estrogen in the gutter. You feel terrible. You got to, work the ratios around and try and find out what works for you. I don't think there's really a one size fits all approach. But it's just like you said, Jay Cutler's been on podcasts before talking about how much he loves EQ. Cedric McMillan, Dallas, like, if they would have died from anything, it wasn't kidney failure, it was other issues.
It was heart failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
But then you're an emotionless beast.
Yeah, so it depends on which ratio you run. Like, if you crush your estradiol, like, you have Boldenone that can lower estradiol by itself, and then 3 metabolites on top of that. And that's why it's such a good way to control your estrogen levels.
Really helps going through a breakup, though.
Oh, you have other mints for that.
Crush the E2.
You should go.
Just don't think about anything.
Yeah, don't think about anything. No erections. No. You know,
No
she
erections.
yells at you like, yeah, you did this and that. You're like, you're just emotionally dead.
Yep.
So yeah,
You're
okay,
monkey
whatever, babe.
walking on work, man. You don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
No sex,
Right?
girls, no feelings.
Yeah, and all you got to do is manage your hematocrit. You know, I mean, the last time I ran EQ, I think I did like 900 or 1200 milligrams on top of a gram a test, and then my hematocrit was like 56% hydrated. It's like, ooh, that's a bit high. That was the last time. Polycythemia, bro. That's what I got from it. But I looked like a freak, and I was in a good state of health. And my estrogen levels were normal, so at that time.
Mm.
But yeah, that's like the secondary downside is that it does at higher dosages can be quite erythropoietic. And then if you have underlying issues like sleep apnea or whatever, then your hematocrit might be pretty fucking high. Now you can donate, you can control it with nanopill, olmesartan, or methylene blue, or CPAP machine. Right, there's all methods to control it.
Yeah.
And back then we didn't have any of those methods available because nobody talked about them.
That's what I was telling our bro to definitely get his surgery for his what do you call it?
Septum?
Deviated septum, because that's causing more issues than just sleep apnea for sure. You know, morphing of your face and a lot of other really serious issues. I'm like, hey, bro, the surgery is worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know several people who've
More
done
than anything.
surgery, and it's life changing.
I think they just got worried because there is a risk, right? It's not 100% success rate, but
No.
I mean, dude, it is worth it. Just find
But
the best
no
doctor you
surgeries
possibly
are
can.
100% success rate. I remember reading like a 6-page waiver when I did the LASIK eye surgery, femto LASIK eye surgery. So you can go blind. Oh, great.
Right? Yeah.
And I was blind for like
Crazy.
5 seconds when I removed the cornea. And I was like, oh, all I see is blurry.
Holy shit.
Now it's life changing. I don't need glasses. I can see like a hawk.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of my last surgery. Now I'm going to have hair.
Ah,
Absolutely
yeah.
Yep.
And that's why he shaved it, huh?
Oh, it's so worth it, dude. I wanted to look like
I
you.
don't know. I don't have any hair loss. I keep trimming, but it keeps coming back.
It's fire.
I'm immune. I get acne. Look at this. 42 years old, still got pimples. What the fuck?
Speaking of that, Andy Morales asks, hair loss support without side effects or minimal sides?
Without side effects, I don't know. You're probably asking for too much. There's always a little bit of a chance. With minimal sides, I think minoxidil is probably just one of the most studied things that you could start out with. Get the hair regrowth in there. It's a great place to start. You can get it prescribed at 10%. Find it over the counter, Costco, whatever. My brand sells it for 5%, like whatever you want. Then you start getting into the heavier stuff. If you want to do the 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, finasteride, about 70% coverage, dutasteride, about 90% coverage, varies person to person.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything beyond that is like experimenting. SM04554, RU58841. Like, we start getting into all the research chemicals. And if you're a desperate guy, you might as well throw all 9 of them at your head.
Right. I think honestly, I think microneedling was probably one of the most underrated things that I implemented in my
GHK and microneedling and minoxidil. I think that's very good for hair regrowth.
And then I hate to say it, I feel like RU was probably the most overrated that I threw into my stack as well. But that's my experience.
You need to run it quite high, right? Preference. Like 5 to 10 milligrams per day on top of your scalp. And then you risk it going systemic, and then you get basically the same anti-androgen effect as aldosterone or spironolactone.
Yeah, if it does go systemic. PP405, that new one out of UCLA, is probably the most promising if it makes it. But
is it available already?
I've seen RAWs for JXL, which was purported to be the predecessor of it, but then the company came out and they said, like, no, there's no connection. Whether or not that's true, who knows? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of on top of it. They find a chemical that they know they can make money on, start cooking right away.
It'll be on the market right away.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or you guys get a transplant that's one and done.
Or you pick the right parents. Like, I have 0 hair loss.
Right.
0. And I fucking hate hair. This is all I got. Everything else
I hate
gone.
hair. It's crazy.
You did like laser hair removal on your scalp?
I might do a laser hair removal on my beard at one point. And because
give me those follicles.
My whole body.
Give me the grafts. Send them over here.
Yeah, if you want them, but then I mean, my face would look like a little crater moon, it's if I remove all those graphs. But yeah, it's everybody has their preference in that sense. I just don't like hair.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever seen the side effect of like hair drying from minoxidil and finasteride?
I mean, yeah,
scabs
before you go to bed, you'll wake up the next day, you'll shower, you'll put all your hair oil and nice moisturizing stuff in your head, and then it's normal.
Except that most of us guys don't have hair oils.
Oh, dude, they need to get friends with like a hairstylist. Like, go find a girl who like cuts hair or something and ask her how to help your thin, starving, straw-like hair. She'll have like 10 products for you, I promise.
Okay.
You'll be surprised how much micronutrients can improve your hair quality. Like if you just eat a little bit better and maybe check your thyroid hormones, like hair loss, androgen deficiency, hair loss, and thyroid deficiency are very commonly linked. So if you're like, man, I feel awful, I have no energy, and I have hair loss, just do some blood work, bro, and go on TRT and thyroid replacement. And then suddenly your hair starts growing in places that you didn't expect also, like in your chest and on your back. But hey, those are future grafts.
The future grafts. That was the worst part about testing GH for me, honestly.
My chest is like, I'm a fucking bear, dude.
I used to be a hairless Asian.
Back is the worst. I regret taking oral minoxidil. I kind of believe that that's what kickstarted it.
I think it's a trend.
Shit.
Like one cycle and my voice lowered an octave and I got hair on my chest and my back.
You said trend or test?
My wife every week, reluctantly, she's like, again? Babe,
that's hilarious.
Can't reach it there.
That's
a little
hilarious.
bit in between the cheeks also, thank you.
Yeah.
Jungle there. That's like a hiking hazard.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when girls actually liked that I was just purely hairless for no reason, but that was in my young 20s. So,
and the worst thing
maybe
is like
changes.
when you have a lot of hair and then you trim it all the way down, and then 2 days later it starts to get that thick hair that is pointy and sharp, and then you have intercourse, and then the girl can't focus because you're fucking scraping her ass.
Yeah.
So I couldn't come because you're scratching my whole lower back.
It's funny.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys feel about the discussion over finasteride, whether it's worth the risk or not? I haven't had
Steve,
that happen
you put
to
your
me,
opinion
but-
out there quite repeatedly.
Yeah,
right?
you have.
I don't think it's a good idea. Why would you kill the risk of killing your dick for a little bit of hair? Like
Even if it's like 0.01%.
Yeah, but it's still a risk. But then with SSRIs and Accutane, you can have the same risk, of killing your libido and your mood. So, like Accutane can make you depressed, and then SSRIs can kill your libido. I mean, vortioxetine killed my dick, 100%. I had
It fucking
zero
sucks
desire
too because
and zero erection quality. So it's like, fuck this, man. And then the methylene blue experience with serotonin syndrome just solidified it for me. This shit is not for me. So I threw it in the trash. And luckily for me, I'm quite resilient. So a week later, 2 weeks later, I was fine. But yeah, some guys have long lasting issues. So just because I'm resilient and can bounce back from drugs and the side effects are gone after a couple of days, some guys have long lasting issues with finasteride syndrome or dutasteride syndrome. It stays in your system for weeks, months. Now, is there other underlying issues, and maybe an NAD plus deficiency, or an androgen receptor problem, and or 5-reductase issues because they keep hammering the ketoconazole and the minoxidil, right? That goes systemic, and now your DHEA sulfate and the pregnenolone levels are deficient as well. So there could be a whole slew of issues. But yeah, finasteride could be like the one that moves the needle. I would look at the pygium and sulpometal first and check your fucking DHT levels. You know how many guys go on finasteride and dutasteride without checking their levels? And they have no idea if serum DHT is elevated, or do a biopsy in their scalp to see if DHT is elevated there. People take drugs like candy, at least do some fucking blood work first. But yeah, I know guys that take 1 milligram finasteride that they got crazy libido. And they got no hair loss because it was linked to the DHT. They tried everything already, right? So I think Accutane, SSRIs, and 5-reductase inhibitors, it's like end stage management of the issue that you have, and you should try all other options first. And then look into these as a last resort.
So the one scenario and the type of client where I think it actually makes sense to consider more heavily is there's an interesting new demographic of people who want to retain very boyish looks, like youthful K-pop superstar appearance while they're using steroids. This is our generation, Steve. I hate to break it to you. So these guys, they want these looks maxing stacks.
And guess what? They're not getting laid. And I'll take all the girls that don't want them.
Married man, by the
way.
But dude, this is not how you get laid. By retaining your boys' looks. Or maybe you want the school teacher that's like 23 and you're 17. And all those girls go to jail, right? I don't get it, man. I don't fucking get this generation.
Yeah, so they'll take things like dutasteride, suppress as much of their DHT as possible, so they minimize the masculinizing effects of testosterone, but try and get some of the anabolic effects
of test. Yeah,
and I've seen the opposite too, where there's these guys that they hate how young they look, and so they'll start megadosing Proviron.
No way.
Panic effects and minimal anabolic effects.
People have zero patience, It's TikTok ruined their brain, man. They have zero patience. Just wait. And there's a market for everything, dude. There's a market for boyish looks and a market for more masculine looks.
Yes.
And while you're transitioning through these different markets, you just fuck what you can get. Jesus Christ. How difficult is it? There's always like a 5-year gap anyway. So when I was 17, you can go get away with 16 that's still legal, and up until 2022, it's fine. And when you're 25, you can get away with fucking 20 to 30. It's fine. Relax, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
You play within your league, guys too quickly want to get old faster, or they get afraid of aging. They want to stay young as long as possible.
Just let it happen.
Just have real confidence.
Smack
him around a little bit.
Focus on earning money.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can this planet is kind of shitty and life can get you miserable, but you can buy your way out of it.
Money buys happiness.
You can make life a lot more comfortable. Like having boyish looks doesn't make life more comfortable. If anything, you just spend the whole time in front of the mirror. Oh shit, I got a wrinkle. There goes your security down the drain. And now you can't perform, you can't get your dick up, and you have this boyish good looks, but no dick to use. What's the point? What's the point, man?
Just inject your dick with like PGE 101.
Yeah, and then you have trimix. And then before you know it, you're on 17 different compounds again, When in reality, you just stop giving a fuck and then you'll be better off.
Yeah. Facts. All right. Jess Stansel asks, most exciting new peptide or PEDs coming we haven't heard of, or any predictions?
Tanner, I've been out of the game for a couple months, so I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. PEDs, honestly, there's nothing new under the sun. We've had the same stuff for the same 70, 80 years. I don't think you're going to get anything new there. We had all the hype with the Dr. Mike Israetel thing, with the Trevogrumab and the Gretismab, and nothing came out of that. A big nothing burger yet again.
How many messages did you get from that video? Dude, it was insane. Steve, what's your opinion on Trevogrumab? Motherfucker, where can you buy it?
Yeah, no one even had it. So
nobody has it. And if you can buy it from the research peptides, a cycle based on the clinical dosages would cost you between $700,000 to $1.2 million.
Arm and a leg, which these people don't have. So it was just
they don't have it. And even if you have it, you're better off buying a house. At least that appreciates,
Yeah, really. I mean, as far as the peptide space is concerned, it's kind of like the gear industry where a lot of things come out all at once. There's pro-hormones and there's anabolics and whatever. And we spend enough time experimenting and self-experimenting, and eventually a few of them kind of float to the top. And we really know what they are right now. I don't think there's anything that's out that everyone's getting crazy over. The one that I would caution people about, the whole obsession over bioglutide, the GLP-4 agonist.
I think it's fake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do like 20 seconds of research into the guy who's getting the patents, whatever. He's a known con artist. He's done this before. I wouldn't be surprised if he's trying to just pull a little bit of a Theranos and get some investing into the company and then Get on out of there. So I feel bad for everyone who's like, looking at this thing like it's going to change everything. But it's like, man, retatrutide is already so good. You guys are greedy. You want more and more and more. It's
let's say bioglutide was real, right? All those guys that pivot from Reta to bio, they'll look exactly the same or worse, because now they think they can get away with eating shittier. They use it as a crutch. Yeah, I mean the foundation still, you keep saying it, but the foundation still needs to be in place. Yeah, with bioglutide, it's a pipe dream. I mean the clinical trials were never published on reputable websites. And the data was pulled from retatrutide and some other clinical trials. Just a couple numbers were changed. So bioglutide as a pipe dream will never come to market. There's no CAS number, so that's already a red flag. And when I looked into it, it was just briefly. It's because what's the point in looking into these drugs when they're not on the market?
Yeah.
Like me and Tanner, we're smart. We do the research and we use the drug, and then we open our mouth.
Yeah.
What's the point if you can do like all these YouTube channels, they do the research and then say, oh, it's so promising. Yeah, but SARMs were promising too.
Yes, exactly.
And the only one that actually works is a steroidal SARM, YK11. Well, Trembolone and Anavar are also steroidal SARMs.
So you just want everyone to understand that whenever some new category of drug comes out or some new thing comes out, understand that you want to be one of the lab rats, hop in with us. Let us know what happens, right? Do that at your own risk. I'm not encouraging this right now. Bioregulators, I've seen a little bit of buzz around them. How much evidence do we have that they're super effective? Exactly. Bingo.
Because a lot of these companies reached out to me and I'm like, okay, bioregulators looks interesting. Couple peptide chains together. I try to look for scientific evidence on every product. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. At least I would like to do some evidence, I mean, Ment has got a good amount of scientific evidence that looked promising in humans. SLU, promising scientific evidence in animal models. And now everybody uses it. So long story short, if there's something promising, me and Tanner will tell you. I hate to be this arrogant, but if there's something really promising that will work, me and Tanner will tell you, or guys like us will tell you. We'll do the research, we'll use it. But if there's nothing to research, we have no motivation to use it unless we hear anecdotal reports. No, I haven't really heard anecdotal reports that bioregulators are so good. Heard a couple reports that Cartilex might be promising. I got some on the way. I'll give it a try. Or something for the eyes that some people improve their eyesight. I'm willing to give that a try, even though I had LASIK eye surgery, so I doubt anything will change. But yeah, the guys that are, just like with SARMs, the guys that rave about it also sell it, and that's a red flag for me.
Yeah. But just be patient. If you are an early adopter, you can try it yourself and find out what works and what doesn't. If you are waiting for any kind of input, go check Vigorous Steve's channel. He's going to have a video on it. Go check my page, see if I posted about it. You see nothing, probably don't touch it.
Just got to wait until we make a video about it.
Yeah, really.
It's that simple. It's that simple. I mean, there's a couple of promising compounds like Fox 8 or, some people are talking about that. But I don't know. I would just, if it's really, really good, it would get popular fast, just like SLU. That was popular in 3 months. Mod C, when finally people started using it, and now everybody uses it, right? Yeah, I talked about it a couple of years ago, but people are like, mitochondrial shit, what is that? It's so... Methylene blue was popular during the C19 era. I just kind of overlooked it. That's popular now. But yeah, it might take some time for things to adopt. So maybe 2 or 3 years from now, the bioregulators got some scientific evidence and people rave about it. Okay, cool. You're 2 years late to the party, but it's never too late to run something. But as of now, I would say after SLU, nothing really new that sparked my interest.
Yep.
And I had tried a lot of compounds in the meantime, and they all turned out to be like, fun experiment, but not really worth my money.
Yep.
And I got them for free, so that says a lot. Not worth the syringe that I used to inject it with.
Yep.
So yeah. Plus, there's hundreds of, if it's on the WADA prohibited list, it's probably good. And then there's a couple, and that list that has like 500 or 600 drugs on there. So what more do you want, man? And then if it's not on the list, I got a video about that, right? WADA-approved compounds, which has another 200 compounds that I thought were worth using. So you have like 600, 700 compounds to choose from. If you can't get it done with that, I mean, it's just stay natty, bro.
Yep, that's right.
You know. Next question.
Yeah, next question. Speaking of Talon Builds, says, "Oh, dude, no specific question, but this is a crossover of a lifetime."
Yeah,
thank you, bro.
I agree.
Got a few of those.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's been a
while. Speaking of bioglutide, Finn Nugan asks, "Is retatrutide something you can take year round?"
Technically,
I haven't seen issues.
No,
a lot of people are supportive of this right now.
Are you managing your digestion by intelligently designing your meal plan, your nutrition? Because retatrutide, by slowing gastric emptying, can ruin your digestion also. And if you're not eating the correct foods, getting sufficient micronutrients in, then yes, you'll go blind. And yes, you'll get osteoporosis or something along those lines, you know, all the side effects. Or if you keep eating a boatload of carbohydrates, because it does stimulate the pancreas for insulin production, yeah, maybe you tire out the beta cells and you get pancreatic insufficiency or amylase and lipase levels go sky high because you have a lot of pancreatic inflammation. So if you eat right, you live the lifestyle, I think you can run a low dose pretty long. Higher dose, just the more you take, that you would need to cycle, right? So I took 7 milligrams of retatrutide for a couple months until I felt that the effects were kind of wearing off and I started getting cravings again. And then I switched to a low dose tirzepatide of 4 or 5 milligrams. And
I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I just switched from Reta to tirzepatide to get better appetite suppression. And then once my diet is over, I'm happy with my leanness, I will phase out the tirzepatide to nothing or maybe 1 milligram per week, just to take the food noise away and run a lower dose for a longer period of time until I feel I need to diet again. But I don't need appetite suppression when my calories are high, obviously, because that kind of defeats the purpose. That I need to force feed. I'm over that.
Yeah. Plus, Jared Feather and I have discussed that. Like everybody, this changes across the board, whether or not you feel better on tirzepatide or retatrutide. Like people have varying different side effects. Like some people will feel the heart rate effects higher on retatrutide. And Jared and I kind of prefer tirzepatide a little bit better, but you know, it differs. So just experiment.
Yeah.
It's more potent milligram for milligram, it seems, for appetite suppression.
Yeah.
The pancreatitis risk that some people have talked about. One of my close friends, Coach Pat, he went through a bit of a scare in the ER with, the chronic Reta usage, going into a prep, a whole lot of other drugs in his system. Honestly, it's reversible. If you catch it, you start feeling not so good, you can't keep any food down. That's probably a sign that you should stop the Reta. You should listen to your body. Starving yourself for multiple days in a row is no good. And then once that's done, you go get yourself checked out. They say, okay, do this, this, and this, and then your pancreas will recover. And it does. It does come back to normal. I've had guys get pancreatitis on Reta. They didn't even stop their Reta and it recovered. I don't encourage that, but I've seen it.
How much were they using? How many milligrams per week?
He was on a low dosage, I think 4 to 6 milligrams or something. The other
I wouldn't really consider 6 low though, but
well, I took 21, so that's very low.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, dude. How can you eat?
I couldn't even wear shirts. The skin effect, the dysthymia.
That's right.
Needles in my skin all day.
Yeah, it took a while to get used to. And when you tell me would trim my body hair, I was like, you're just in pain.
Yeah.
Imagine like 1.5 hours to trim everything because you have to do it super slow, bzzz, instead of
you two are crazy.
Wiping shit out of it. And get rid of this hair.
I got a little bit of Boston Lloyd in me for sure, so I thugged it out.
Both of you guys do.
That's why we're in this position, right? You can't be scared if you want to be a drug educator. You gotta be ready to push some boundaries, man.
Someone's gotta try it. That's all.
Yeah. Learn from our mistakes. I know a guy that did 5 milligrams tirzepatide, like a whole vial, and he couldn't eat or drink for like a whole week.
Yeah. I was drinking carb powder. It was the only calories I could get down. I couldn't even have a protein shake. It was like 100, 200 calories a day.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, he couldn't drink, so he had to go to the ER and get IV.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was the first time he used a GLP-1. It was probably not as resilient.
Yeah.
So
he messed up the dosage. He got it wrong.
Crazy.
I accidentally the whole vial.
How do you do that?
Yeah, it happens. It happens, man.
Reminds me of when fucking Eric Janicki was telling me that he went to inject his GH, but he accidentally had melanotan in there. Bro vomited. Threw up.
These guys that use growth hormone and say, "Oh, you need 10 IUs on the insulin syringe," and then they use insulin, and then they do 100 IUs because they want 10 IUs of insulin. What's an insulin syringe, bro? It's 100 IUs of insulin syringe is 100 IUs of insulin, not 10 IUs.
I'll get you.
It's like, why am I
That's
tongue
scary.
numb? Can't see, sweaty, confused.
Unconscious. Yeah.
Confused.
Some others survive, but I've heard these reports, man.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you're in bodybuilding too, Dom Superslice said that he knows 5 Olympians personally that this last Olympia, they all took 3.5 milligrams of Retta, maybe a couple of them, maybe a little bit more. And yeah, there are other variables, but all of them had some type of even slight GI issue, and none of them came in at their best at Olympia.
I would recommend people to take it out 2 weeks, 3 weeks before.
Yeah, little anecdotal evidence. I
took it on carb load if your appetite is suppressed. I mean, you need 1,000 grams, 1,200 grams of carbs at the end, so just take
even
it
just
out.
Even just at least a little bit over 1 week before, which is what I did, and that helped enough.
Yeah. And then you can suppress appetite with something else, like ephedrine or I don't know, tesofensine or something like that.
Or willpower.
Yeah. They're the blue collar bodybuilders, right? Come on. Dude, I remember when I introduced these drugs, people thought I was like the biggest cheat ever.
Yeah.
And now everybody runs it. Yeah, I want to be blue collar, man. And Steve he can't control his appetite. And now everybody runs it. Who's laughing now?
Right.
I get the affiliate sales. I'm laughing all the way to the bank.
There are a lot of us bodybuilders though out there that are really just like obsessed with the whole like biohacking kind of mindset where you're like, all right, so retatrutide is going to help regulate my blood sugar and also minimize fat gain and also
better eating patterns. It's not the actual drug itself, it's the side effect of using the drug. Okay, the glucagon helps a little bit, but like why be a moody son of a bitch the entire prep when you can just be happy-go-lucky because you're not food obsessed and actively suppressing that and be more productive? I think the reason why
that's Eric's mentality, at least.
Yeah,
which I think is
so many more bodybuilders are highly approachable now because they use GLP-1 receptor agonists, and instead of constantly trying to suppress that raging appetite and then being moody and then cognitively impaired, they're actually happy-go-lucky and they're making money and they're getting their work done, and they're not snappy at their girlfriend or significant other, which how many relationships get destroyed from bodybuilding prep. Now it's a lot less. And all you needed was a little bit of a drug to, take the edge off. So you're welcome.
Yeah. 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 In regards to appetite suppression specifically, I'd say that's probably the most important factor that I've seen that's been a benefit is saving people's marriages.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, but yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Like how many people, like less trend and the GLP-1, how many people are together now and in a good relationship status? I mean, my relationship is better also because I'm not snappy. I used to be so fucking snappy, even when I was natural. Because you're just constantly hungry.
Starving. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
No, fine.
There's so many questions. Fuck. Tehran Fori asks, should you progress training volume and effort the further you get into a training block?
Should actually reduce it because you get stronger. But then some guys like
reduce
RP
training volume,
increase the volume.
I just think you should increase stimulus no matter what kind of variable that you're increasing. So sometimes it doesn't have to be training volume, but normally that is going to go up if you have heavier weight.
Yeah, I usually reduce the volume because I get stronger and the intensity goes up. So I might start with 8 working sets and end up with 4.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I've been training since I was 15, so I know my body. It might not work for other people. Right. But again, not everybody can bring the same training intensity as I do to the gym. I'm a bit crazy. So Some people need 15 reps and 3 reps in reserve, and because they can't bring that determination. So they need more volume. Okay, fine. Or they like to be in the gym for 2 hours. Sure, it's fine. Whatever works for you. If it doesn't get you results, okay, you need to change. But if it gets you results, then by all means continue. The training is supposed to be fun. And if you're having a good time in the gym and you're getting results, then whatever works for you. I don't have to.
Brother is vigorous. Dr. Dimsdale asks, what causes bodybuilders to experience low iron, ferritin, saturation, and high binding?
Low iron, low ferritin?
Low iron, ferritin. I'm assuming he means, because those are basically the same. I'm assuming he just says low iron, ferritin without commas. Saturation, comma.
What's his supplement stack? What's he taking? I don't see this universally across all bodybuilders, so I don't know what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Like if you have a liver adenoma, you have low iron and high ferritin because you have inflammation in the liver, and iron is being readily used by the cancer cells. If you have low iron, low ferritin, it means that you're deficient in iron, so you probably are vegan, or you take IP6. Yeah.
Or you're a white girl and you have anemia.
Yeah,
like
you have
all
anemia.
The white girls
lose all of your iron from
bikini competitor.
Period. Yeah, that could be the case. Or you take IP6.
Blood?
Sorry?
If you donated blood, could you end up in a state where those levels are both low?
Yeah, but then usually your iron stores from the skeletal muscle and the other peripheral tissue kind of fills up. So you need to do a lot of iron donation or a lot of blood donations. What was his username?
Dr. Dimsdale.
If he asks a better question, we can give a better answer.
Sounds like a trick question. It's like a doctor test these guys without giving them the total picture. Like even when you go to the doctor's office, you get more of a total picture than what he's giving us. Yeah.
All right, whatever. KST Mario says this is going to be a killer pod. Please be longer than or at least 3 hours. Sorry, brother.
I'm trying, man. Dude, it's 3:45 here. I got to go to bed soon.
Tanner has 3 minutes. All right.
No, I think my client canceled because I don't have anything on my.
Are you supposed to have a consultation?
I was supposed to have a consultation.
No shit. Okay.
I'm still here. I'm still good.
Maybe not 3 hours, but maybe we can get at least close. Maybe closer.
I got 15 minutes.
Like maybe 15.
I got to go to bed, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, 15 for sure.
Yeah, sorry,
Jesus Christ. You guys really need to use code Steve for something.
Yeah, please.
KST Mario says top 3 roids outside of test and EQ, LMAO. The EQ part
outside
was for
of
Tanner.
Test and EQ?
Yeah.
Tren? Come on.
Tren, Primo, Hangover.
Good little super.
I like YK11. I like Anadrol. I like all steroids, actually.
I think I like
it's hard not to love all steroids.
Yeah.
I put all like lower, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only one I haven't tried yet is DHB and Stenbolone.
I like DHB.
Oh, really?
But I didn't feel much from it. I really did not feel much from it. Whenever people say this as like in between Primo and Tren, it's kind of what it feels like, to be honest.
Huh.
But I don't really feel like the side effects that you feel from Tren. I really do not feel from DHB. So it just kind of feels. So yeah, it's like a lot.
I've used microdoses of DHB in my chess player clients and in my esports clients. It helps a little bit with the central nervous system signaling.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more locked in.
You do have to be careful with your liver, of course, but like, I was just taking 1.5 grams of Tika throughout everything, and then NaCSO throughout my prep, glutathione, and my liver enzymes a week after was, I think, 60 and 130. And this is also the day after leg day. I was a dumbass. I didn't want to skip a workout. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can still manage your liver pretty well if you do all those things.
I just like steroids.
I just like steroids.
Yeah. I don't know which one I like more than the other. There's a time and place for everything. And I like to flip flop. Sometimes you feel like a blonde girl and sometimes you feel like a redhead. Or Amazonian goddess, with fucking dreads all the way to the fucking floor. That's Tren, obviously. That's the Tren girl.
That's the Tren talking. Yeah,
that's the Tren talking.
Christian Centino asks a best substitute for Primo and Mass due to the shortage.
EQ
or DHB, apparently.
Yeah. It's the only other thing that'll control your estrogen alongside the tests. Or just test AIGH. You don't have to have a substitute.
Yeah, true. I like even a sprinkle of
Testy is
NPP
getting
if
a
you
little
can
bit.
handle
Like
it.
last weekend on the Vigorous Q&A, like at least 5 guys told me their serum levels on testosterone were all like half of what it should be. I'm like, what the fuck? I think a lot of testy is underdosed now.
Splitting their vials. Trying to
Yeah.
I mean, I think you and Kurt kind of popularized it when you made the discussion between Test C and Test E.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh yeah, Test E, like that's the only one we want now. So you just watch the short. Whenever Steve, I don't know if you know this, whenever you post a video, something goes out of stock.
We made a video about Halo testing, and then Halo testing went out of stock.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh shit. I had this discussion with Dr. Dean,
you
though.
Need to stock up on everything you're interested in. I mean, my drawer, I saw the picture of your drawer, Tanner. That's how it, this is the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to open it up, and then it's like like the scene from Pulp Fiction. Starts to light in your face, like, oh. Zombie apocalypse has got nothing on us.
Yep, that's right.
I was having this discussion with Dr. Dean, though, that each person should at least experiment with both Test E or Test C before just like choosing one and sticking to it, because there are some people that can't handle one of those because of the molecular structure.
Yeah. So I tried all the esters, obviously, and then enanthate works the best for me. I just don't like tren enanthate because sometimes you need to abort, so you go to acetate.
Yeah.
And then if you want to abort, it's out of your system in 5 days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
More milligrams of actual tren, so get more bang for your buck.
Jack Dufall Trades asks best beginner cycle.
Test.
What dose? What someone ask what dose?
TRT, build your way up.
2 milligrams per kilogram.
2 milligrams per kilogram. So if I was 80, say that I was 85 kilograms.
170.
170.
Yeah.
That's like a TRT dose.
Pound.
I mean, if you're very overweight, then you shouldn't be getting on tests anyway. You got to lose that fat first.
Yeah.
And then once 70 kilos, 80 kilos, yeah.
Okay. No one ever specifies on titrating up or working your way up. So how fast would you work your way up?
When you get stuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 50 to 100 milligram dose increases, like from 1 week to the next, most guys can handle that. I rarely see anyone have issues with that. I know like my first cycle was 300 tests and I had crazy mood swings even on that. So you got to realize like some guys are very sensitive. Just start slow, right? There's no rush. If you hopped on 500 tests versus slowly work your way up over the course of 6 months, how big of a difference does it make? Are you going to be Mr. Olympia? You're going to be a nobody? Your genetics are the same, dude.
Yeah.
Just take the time, avoid the side effects, get your blood work done. Only increase if it makes sense. If your blood pressure is like, 140, why are you increasing your dose? You have problems. Fix them first.
And keep in mind that test doesn't really have much calories and much protein, so you might want to increase your food a little bit. 10% increases. Right, so you go from 2,500 calories to 2,750 calories. Do that for 4 or 6 weeks, and then 3,200 calories 4 to 6 weeks, and then you might be able to increase the food 3 times before you need to increase the test. It's boring. It's not sexy and exciting, but at least it allows you to learn your body.
Yeah.
And
just a random question from
with 50% or 25% or whatever you feel is like. I increase it pretty fast, but I'm also a big dude,
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm.
And
I think
I always rely on some muscle memory. So if I cruise for 3 or 4 months on 200 tests, and then I grow into my muscle memory quite fast, so I can go from 200 tests to 500 to 750 to a gram if I want to, or add some other compounds on top. So my dose just escalate up faster than the other person because my muscle mass comes back faster. And then, when I'm on a gram test, I'm pretty much at the maximum of my muscle mass. And then I would need a little bit more tests to push past a plateau. So I'd be on 1,500 milligrams of test in no time. But, I'm a veteran in that sense.
Mm-hmm. John Jewett likes 20%. 20% increases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At least from our discussion. I know it's going to vary per person drastically and per situation, but at least you got to.
So if it's your first time, basically, the 20% increases, 25%. But if you've been there before, like John Jewett would not increase with 20%. He'd go straight, Well, I know what he does.
He's up
he
there,
gets there a little bit faster, just like I am. So I gotta put some mass back. Okay, well, put a little bit more in there. Oh, accidentally a whole syringe.
Oops. Yeah.
Oopsie.
Nice.
So, but that's the level of development that you have, right? If you have more muscle mass, you just escalate up faster. And you have more experience at that point also. But if you don't have the experience, every couple of weeks, 25% increases. Sure. And then your cycle can last like 2 years, because by the time you're done, you're at 750 milligrams, which is Monday for me.
Monday.
Fire. Kaido asks, start to get my wife pregnant after taking exogenous hormones for a few years. 24 years old.
2.5-hour deep dive.
Yeah, I mean, watch this video, but get your fertility checked first. You might not even need to come off. You might not even need to take anything. If you're still fertile, pop one in the oven, dude.
Yeah. Can get somebody pregnant without coming off. But if you're azoospermic, I have a 2.5-hour movie from start to finish. So just give that one a watch. That's too long. So it'll take longer to get somebody pregnant, man.
Sometimes even like just a little bit of ACG on top is going to be enough most of the time, honestly. Yep. So
yeah, and if your oxidative stress is low, then your sperm quality is going to be high. Sperm quality is most susceptible to oxidative stress. Your DNA fragmentation, your morphology, your motility, it all gets impaired by oxidative stress. And if you ejaculate every couple of days and you know how to time it around ovulation, when the cervix is open, you pop it in every 2 days, and your oxidative stress is low, you probably don't need to come off cycle. But you're still more likely to have a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck!
You can get IVF if you really want a son. You just pick
that's
and
what
choose.
I did. I got a son waiting for me 6 months, and from now my wife will be pregnant from our son.
Fire.
Yeah, I got a daughter already, and then a son, and then I got one embryo left. Can put another daughter in there. Let's see, my wife will be like 47 or something by that time.
Yes.
I don't think will be up for it.
Maybe starting with IVF.
One more son to leave a legacy.
Yeah. Better be a fucking son.
Yeah. Have a little Kratos running around.
Yeah, really.
Austin Carter 25 asks, how soon can you get the hair trans, and do the meds need to be continued to keep the hair?
For your hair transplant, you're the only one who got one out of all three.
You're the expert here, bro.
I had a feeling. All right. Yeah, bro. Hair transplant, you can get it whenever you fucking want, whenever you feel. You could probably get another one later if you really decide you want to. But those hairs that are going to be implanted are going to be a lot less prone to being lost than the ones that were lost due to DHT anyways. So, and as long as you keep like your hair intact, like there's not really any meds that need to be continued at all. But obviously they recommend minoxidil and finasteride. And if you're up to taking those, then it's just going to prevent any further hair loss in the future. So you're not going to have those weird spaces behind the hairs that were transplanted or whatever that are empty. That's it. It's really not that serious. Brandon868 asks, managing hematocrit on cycle.
Drink water. You're probably dehydrated. Do cardio. You're probably sitting on the couch too much. And then supplements, nattokinase and red yeast rice and telmisartan and all that good stuff.
Enalapril, methylene blue. Don't take so much fucking EQ, bro.
Yeah.
And Anadrol. I'm going to do this off-season. 1 gram of test, 1 gram of EQ, and 350 Anadrol. And I have sleep apnea.
Yeah, heart attack stack, baby.
Yeah, it's a heart attack stack.
Yeah. Next, we're going rapid fire now, Nile.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Yes, I like it. There's a lot, honestly. Fabio Sampson asks, how much mass can you keep after cycling and going back to natty if possible?
None.
It depends on your genetics and your diet.
It does for sure. But honestly, muscle memory is fucking a thing for sure. You'll realize when you go back on cycle.
Unless you have great genetics, you will just shrink back down to your natural state. You might be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, but cosmetically it won't look the same because now you have 600 tests before, 600 tests after, right? Nanograms per deciliter. If you have 5 pounds more muscle, the 600 test is now, I don't know, a couple percentage less than what you need to keep that appealing. So you actually look softer because you have proportionally less test for the amount of muscle mass that you have. So you look worse, flabby,
Yeah.
Like, look at all the guys that came off and they stayed off, and their levels are like the same as before. It just doesn't look right. It looks like deflated muscle.
The guys who stay on TRT, or, they're probably still doing little cycles, they look great.
Yeah.
Dennis Wolf, I think, is a great example. He kind of switched to calisthenics. He's not doing bodybuilding anymore. Muscles are still tight, still has the graininess, body composition's good. He's probably healthy too.
Yeah.
Keeping that training intensity up, though, is going to be a big portion that people really undervalue and don't really discuss about keeping that cosmetic look. Like, it'll deflate a lot quicker if you just don't keep the training intensity up.
You can't. Let's say
you can't match it.
Even TRT,
you can't match it, but you have to try.
20% stronger. You can't stay 20% stronger when you come off. Doesn't matter how good you're. Eventually, it will come down again, unless you have great genetics. But most people just have average genetics, and that just means that you got to be realistic. Like, you're renting your body when you take.
But that's why you do what you said that you did before, where you manage the volume to make sure that you're maintaining a good level of intensity.
Even then, all these guys, they want to do one cycle to get to their natural limit and then maintain, right? Good fucking luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good fucking luck. It's not gonna happen. Plus, when you do one cycle, you want to do another one. Now you're part of the crew, right? Everybody's like, "Hey, bro, it's so nice, nice gains, nice bicep veins, bro." And then it all goes away, and then psychologically, you're like, "Shit, man, I'm not part of the pack anymore." Then you're fantasizing about your next cycle, and then before you know it, you're blasting and cruising. You don't even come off anymore until you want to get somebody pregnant. And welcome to the club.
I got to be real. I was answering this question assuming that it was like going back to natty, like a off cycle or a health phase, and then going back on cycle. And I realized now that the answer was like just going back to natty, period.
Dude, man, I came off cycle. I did HCG monotherapy, and I stayed lean, and I was like 200 pounds, 199 pounds. I was like, what the fuck? And Aaron was like, dude, if you drop below 200 pounds, we can't be friends. And he was right. And I still had some muscularity, right? My testosterone levels were good. But I tried to stay lean. I know everything about training. I have a lot of muscle memory. I can sleep perfectly. Everything was dialed in. I just got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm sure with one more year, I would have been looking like a skinny little swimmer.
It's funny.
Or I should just let myself get fat, But, again, I'm not very fuckable.
Vagabond Muscle asks, thanks for the show, Nyle. For Steve, best ladyboy story since moving to Thailand.
Fuck. This guy also lives in Thailand. Best ladyboy story. I got saved by ladyboys in Laos when I had an asthmatic attack. And then I was in a guest house. This was when I was traveling. So I was in a guest house. I had like asthma attack because I stayed in these $2 rooms, when I was traveling, trying to save money. I didn't have my Ventolin inhaler. So I had to go to the hospital, which was like 2 kilometers away. So I go out on the street. First, I got attacked by a street dog. So I got a brick and just tried to threaten them. I didn't throw it at them. I just threatened to throw it at them. And then a ladyboy pulled up in a little motorcycle. It's like, hey, where you go? With that nasal voice. I said, I need to go to the hospital right now because I'm having asthma attack. I said, okay, I take you. She drove me to the hospital. And then there's a huge queue there of people who are fucking drunk, motorcycle accidents, broken legs. It's like a fucking war zone in there. So it was finally my queue. I said, I'm having an asthmatic attack. I can barely breathe. I said, I need Ventolin. Yeah, you need a script. I said, find me a doctor. I can pay. So I finally got my Ventolin. And then the ladyboy was sitting outside. I said, what are you doing here? So I bring you back. So we're not going to have sex. I said, I almost died here. I almost choked to death. So she brought me back to the guest house, and I gave her some kip, 50,000 kip or something. It's like $3. And she was happy. I was happy. So that was my last and only ladyboy story. So yeah, ladyboy saved my life. Otherwise, I had to walk there and probably be devoured by street dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Super cool.
Fabio Sampson asks,
Honda Waves 110 cc's. She brought me. But yeah, actual mishaps, no, not it doesn't matter how plastered I am. You can smell them from a mile away.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun in a week, I guess.
Oh yeah,
figuring that out.
Yeah. You're prime suspect number 1 for ladyboy attacks. Look at you. They want to eat you alive, bro.
Oh no.
Fabio
One more,
Samson
then I gotta
asks-
log off, dude.
All right. Dan, now I have to find a good one then.
Yeah, pick a good one.
One last good one.
Yeah, it's
I
4
trust
a.m.
you. You can
Please.
do it.
Make it controversial.
Then we can read Steve a bedtime story and
Yeah.
lull him.
Yeah. There's so many good ones, but aside from when the fuck Tanner is going to step on stage, but
Dude, I'm small. That's gonna take a while. I'm busy on business, not bodybuilding. Eventually, I'll get into that.
Yeah, we can service the industry better by making people helping people make better decisions.
I'm the
Stepping on stage.
Merlin. They get to be the King Arthur and go step on stage and
Right.
have the glory.
Exactly.
I'm in the back. I'm the advisor. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
okay, there's two ones that I think would be decent, but
All right, let's go.
anyways, he doesn't have a real username. It's just fucking letters. What's the difference between aesthetic physiques and mass monsters when it comes to cycling?
Muscle mass.
I would say muscle mass for sure, but I think mass monsters you can
take
normally
everything
tell.
under the sun because we don't give a shit about their waist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow it out a little bit and just make bigger lats, bigger shoulders and get away with it. But yeah, aesthetic guys, they really have to be careful because if you blow out your waist, you're done. And that means digestion is more important. Can't eat as much food, more smaller portions during the day. No high doses of growth hormone, no insulin, ideally. And those guys need to be diced to the socks because that's what's required for classic physique. And that's why they drop like 20 pounds at the end to make the weight class and just be super skinny. Like look at Urs when he didn't have a weight cap.
Insane.
Jesus Christ.
Insane.
It's what a difference, dude. And it's not because he gained so much size, it's because he lost no muscle mass this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the difference. Now he could just be as big as he wants to.
There's also just a straight level of just fucking freak beastery that you get whenever you're running like upwards of grams of test for long periods of time. Just become this bowling ball of a fucking Joe Palacios. Absolute animal.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
And he didn't even do it's not even like crazy amounts of like he didn't even do like he had 1 year that he like didn't really run growth hormone. He did implement insulin during that time though, but man, like it's just I think him running up the androgens higher and him having such a high level of sensitivity to it blew up. Just blew up.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Neck, girth everywhere.
Yeah. Probably had no time off regarding the meals and no traveling, no nothing, just sitting at the kitchen and the gym the whole day. Like, what a lot of people forget is that most of these pros have zero life. They don't do anything besides bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, which
That was
is a
me,
shame.
and I got shit on for it, so I want to have a good life for a little bit.
I have a good life also. And I love bodybuilding, but I also like to travel and like to party once in a while. So it does make you a less good bodybuilder, but it makes you a fuller person.
Yeah. You want to be one of the best? Got to be extreme.
Yeah, if you want to be the best at it, I don't want to look back and say I missed all this awesome shit that I could have been doing. So then I'll be okay. I'll be 230 pounds and fuck it, it's big enough.
Something to be said though about what Ian and Fro would say about like actually loving what you're doing, and obviously not being a stickler with everything up your ass when doing it. Because when you go on stage more stressed, you're gonna look worse.
I think Ian is having a great time now, doing a little bit of a comeback, and whether he pulls through with it or not. But now he's actually enjoying bodybuilding, whereas before it's like everything is just so monotonous and gotta eat, gotta train, gotta eat, gotta inject, gotta train, gotta sleep. It's just nothing else left. I think he's finally enjoying his life now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was the same with work. I was like working, and then now I'm finally enjoying the fruits of my labor. I'm like, let's buy another motorcycle.
Oh yes, let's go.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Now, what is it? Too many, right?
Yeah, no, it's 7. 7 is the goal. I got 5 now. 1 pending, and 7 is the goal. And then if I get bored of one, I'll sell it. Because there's only 7 days in the week, so if I
Right, one for every day.
Perfect. Yeah, one for every day. Yeah, so I know guys that have like 30 motorcycles, and then they got 500 kilometers on them, and then they just want to start it, and then the tires are 5 years old, so now you got to change the tires first to be safe, and the battery's dead because I haven't started it in 2 years. So that's a bit too much. So, but if you have 7, you could run 1 every day, and I got 6 now. So,
and then we have Tanner with his future 7 Aston Martians.
There you go. Yeah, hypercars are next. Don't buy Koenigsegg. Those break down fast.
Yeah, my buddy just got one. He's gonna get it delivered soon. I'll have to see what it is. I know it's very controversial right now, but he placed the order in 2019. You can't really back out after that.
How much did he drop on it? $3 million?
I think they're around there. Yeah, $2 to $3 million.
I hope he gets more than 10,000 kilometers out of it before it breaks down. But it's probably 70.
At that point, it's just very expensive artwork. It's not really a car.
Yeah. You put it in your fucking living room. Shit.
Nyle, you said you had one more?
Ian Veller is going to come on the pod next, by the way. So if you guys end up having any questions,
tell him I said hi. Ask him if he Hayabusa or a Rocket 3. Suzuki Hayabusa or a Triumph Rocket 3. I got a Rocket 3. He likes a Hayabusa, but I think he would like a Rocket 3 also.
Okay, cool. All right.
He likes motorcycles.
Excuse the pun asks maximum recommended dose for NPP to avoid neuro issues. If you guys have a recommended.
0 milligrams.
That's exactly right.
If you can't deal, if it's too hot in the kitchen, get out, man. There's so many drugs you can choose from, and there's always a replacement. You can take mint. Primo can give you some joint lubrication. You can use TB500 or BPC157, hyaluronic acid injections. Look at the Cartilac. Some people swear by it. Or do a high volume workout so your joints don't get so hammered.
What about 200 to 300 milligrams and then all the neuroprotective supplements we were talking about?
Yeah, so then you're on a cocktail of everything under the sun. So it's better to look elsewhere than deal with the side effects and then use 5 different compounds to make it somewhat tolerable.
If you've already looked out everywhere else and you don't like Primo and you don't like the BPC and whatever, rare, but then I guess you could come back to MPP plus the cocktail.
Yeah, so usually from 100 milligrams you get the joint lubricating benefits. 200 milligrams is better. And then you have to see if you get side effects at 100 milligrams to 200 milligrams per week. And otherwise, it's not worth it. Right? The side effect, if you get side effects, it's just not worth it. Just look elsewhere.
Nice. All right, cool. I ask every guest, one last question at the end of every podcast. But if you guys were to disappear from the world tomorrow and you had one message you could send to the entire world today, what would the message be?
Start low, build your way up.
Dang. Life is a game of seasons. You got to embrace whatever stage you're in and be prepared for that to change someday.
I love that, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
I like that.
Nothing
one.
is forever. Yeah, sorry. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Use my code.
Use my code. Code Vigorous, so I can support my wife after death.
That was legendary.
I promise I'll get one.
Thanks for coming on, boys. I'm glad we got the family together.
Anytime, for sure. Next time we'll meet in real life. We'll do some partying. Find me a club. Find me a club in Columbus, Ohio. I'll be there.
All right. Yeah, we can do that.
Hell yeah. Yes, that'll be awesome.
I'll bring the mood. You bring the stamps, and I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, there you go. Plastic bag. I'll just pass it to you. No worries.
Cool, guys. It was good to talk to you. Talk to you again soon. I got to roll, though. It's 4:00 in the morning. So we'll talk to you again soon.
Get some rest, brother.
Sleep, brother.
Thanks again for coming on, man.
Thanks, Ab. Take care, guys.
If you need anything, let me know. I'll be here. Both of you guys.
Love you guys.
All right.
Take care.
Later, dogs.
Yo.
Peace.